Listen, listen, listen. I shaved my head again, so it is nice and smooth. No more hair. No. Welcome to Monday Night Realms, where I will ramble on for approximately 2 hours and 50 minutes because I started 10 minutes late. Anyway, I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I hope your Monday kicked off amazing. I only have 4 more days of work, and that would actually be pretty cool for all of you, unless if you work on the weekends. And well, enjoy the rest of the week. Anyway, how's everyone doing tonight? Yeah, this weekend was it was one of those that starts off chilly, and then yesterday it got warm into the 79 or 80 it hit, and it was that today again. And I think it's supposed to be like that the rest of the week until I head out to New York State, Webster, New York. I guess a suburb of Rochester, New York, where I will actually be meeting up with one of my moderators, Action Figs, who lives a couple hours away. And I said, hey, you know what? I'll come out a day early. Instead of driving out on Sunday, drive out on Saturday. We can hang out and cause trouble, mischief. Talk about how amazing Joe Fest is going to be, and if we are going to go with the same fill-in fake moderator, or should we go with a different one during our pictures, because Matthew once again refuses to come to Joe Fest because I think he said on Punk's Pit, I think his words were, "I'm just too good for Joe Fest." I thought it was very rude and pretentious, but it fit Matthew extremely well. Anyway, no, yeah, it was chilly. I had a lot of stuff to get done, a lot of cleaning to do, shopping. Olivia and I went out, did a bunch of stuff. So I did not get around to working on the Terradrome videos. I don't, Matthew, you said that's not what you said. There was a bunch of people that were on there. I think they heard that exact same thing. I'm just saying. But no, yeah, it was a fun weekend, just going out, doing stuff. Olivia and I tend to go out to this place and get these nice quesadillas. Or sometimes I get an omelet, but I was really in the mood for the quesadilla. And then Sunday, I back to the association and getting that stuff taken care of. That's always a lot of fun. But Roman had his annual checkup and came up with a clean bill of health. No heartworm, no flea and tick. Got his yearly shots, and then I finally did what Olivia has been asking. Is he's had the skin tag for a couple years. It doesn't bother him. It doesn't bother me. And she was like, "What can we do about the skin tag?" And he's like, "Well, we could probably do like the freeze it off or whatever." How much is it? He's like, "Well, I think it's like $57 or whatever." I'm like, he's like, "If it doesn't come off, then you have to come back, like in 3 to 4 weeks. Do it again." And she's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Fine, we'll get rid of it." It hasn't come off yet. I hope it does come off on her watch, because she was the one that was so adamant about getting rid of it. But you figure at that point, it's like, hey, you know what? You're getting your shots, his annual checkup. And he comes up back with the clean bill of health, and it's like, you know what? Let's just do it. It's already mounting up. But hey, you know what? That is the life of having animals, critters. I guess not critters. We really don't have critters. Some people may have critters in the house, and if you do, that's good for you. But anyway, that was pretty much my weekend. Oh, I got something else in. What did I get? I got this. And Well, I haven't really watched too many reviews on any of these Fext hobbies, not off strikers. They're buggies, and this one is different than the all striker, right? The the minigun at the top is different. Obviously, it's a different color, so they've added some things. I did not have lights, or I didn't have batteries for the lights. Um, but I did get this in, and I ordered it specifically because it goes with the 788 team. As you can see, the colors match this team very well. They obviously need a way to get around. They can't all fit in the hiss, especially if it's towing. So I was pretty excited to order this because I don't think they're going to do something like this. So I went out, picked it up, or ordered it. It is on pre-order for BBTS. Go check out the video if you haven't yet. Now, right before I was starting, I was reading the comments, and someone left a comment said that piece on the side is a rear view mirror on the driver's side on a ball hinge. And I haven't gone down to look at it, but I pulled up the picture and I went, "It sure as shit is, man. That is a rear view mirror right there on the side." I thought it was like supposed to be like some sort of like shock absorber or something that's holding it. Man, and this sometimes happens when doing, reviews firsthand, not looking at other things. So I totally missed it. So there you can see it a little bit better. It's actually covered by um, the bazooka that goes in there. But this is a fun little vehicle. It doesn't fit perfectly with the G.I. Joe Classified. I mean, it does fit, but there are some issues. It is not perfect. So this is one of the things that suffers when you're dealing with a third party that's making stuff for technically another company. But let's be honest, originally this was made for to be not the all striker, right? And then Fext Hobby worked with Acid Rain to create this. I can actually see in this picture, I didn't actually get the roll bar down all the way. But anyway, it is a nice vehicle. It's going to be fun. I've already got some ideas of what I want to do. I just have to have time to get down and set some stuff up. I can't wait to get it outside. Are you happy to hear that, Ed? It'll be outside once it's a little bit nicer out and I have time to do it. So, and then I did order from Amazon so I could get them the lights. And there you go. There are the lights. This is a unique set. If you watch the review, you'll see the little the button. It changes through the exact same way the hiss does, and the dragonfly, and the rumbler. Though this has it has turn signals. Believe it or not, it has the emergency flashers work or the turn signals work. And one of those crates, man, those crates look really, really awesome back there. So don't forget about the crates. Punk with Toys. I've had two different people post that they got them. But Photo Damon has killed them. If you look at my Instagram, you will see them. The latest one is even better. He made like a little theme from both, little stories. That's what I want to see. So if you're getting these, please tag them. Head over to a random diorama. Matthew or Ed, could you guys please post a link? If you could please post a link in the description for a link to Radnom's A Punk with Toys crates and his Etsy store altogether. They're a lot of fun. I like seeing these. I hope to see more of you guys getting these, posting pictures. I will constantly post the pictures, reshare them, tag them, put them in my story, all that other good stuff. So anyway, let's say hi to the chat before we get too far. So this will be a picture going up on Instagram probably tomorrow morning. It's actually the only picture that I've taken. I gotta really get to the pictures. I was way behind. Usually I pick a whole bunch so I have them. All right. Anyway, 46 people watching right now. Please hit the like button if you haven't. We'll start off with Mike Gold, who is here at 8:16 p.m. saying, all right, all right, all right. Evo Dookie is here. We have Sean Forrester, G.I. Bro, who has the best guns in the community. But I just want to say condolences on the loss of your puppy. I saw you posted on Instagram and Facebook. Only reason why I'm saying anything but condolences. I already mentioned, well, we talked about it on Punk's Pit that Darren, 3-star draw, has also lost Pretzel. So condolences to both of you. It's never easy. You know, like I said, I had to do it with Sheldon, our dog that we had together late last year, and it is awful. So my condolences. Paul Morales has joined us. We have Mamu Nestor jumping in here with his customary. I should probably get that link of him saying how much he hates Joe Fest and that he's too good for it. Billy Butch is here. Debo DNA Action Figs, my other moderator, and also the person that I will be hanging out with this weekend in Webster, New York, where I have been told by this guy and Plastic Fantastic there ain't shit out there. Oh, Ed also told me there's nothing there. Callister or Cal Shave. We have Beardy McBearderson saying happy Monday, everyone. Let the rambling begin. Viper Scout, who also was joining us on Punk's Pit this weekend. Ultra Match has joined us. Lego Star Wars Kid saying hello all. Alex Martinez saying what's up, Mr. Punk. David R. Let's see who else do we have here. Did you say HK Viper? We have Blue Barnella, who I know is not brand new. He was here last week. I think he actually found us on. Did you find me on Circle of Jerks? Either way, great to have you. Love to see some new blood coming in here. Again, jump on in and enjoy. It's a good community that we have going here. We have Guigans. I know I've tried to say this before. You get GG. That's what we. Clint Jorgensen, who also has he mentioned it. I guess he is in the process of adopting a second child. So congrats to you and your lovely wife. It takes a couple big people to adopt not just one child, but more than one child. So congratulations. I hope you guys are able to make it to Joe Fest, but if you're not, I know I will fully understand. I can't speak for the other fucking idiots that go there. I have more sympathy for people, unlike those guys. MTC is here. Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. And once again, Matthew saying that is not what he said, but I believe that I heard it. Yeah, I heard it. Gun Bunny Customs jumping in here saying, what's up, everyone? We have Action Figs saying, yeah, that arrogant mofo. How could you say that, Matthew? See, he heard it. Oh, he said it was also recorded. Rewatch it. You should go rewatch it. And tell me at what point Matthew said that, and post it in the comments. Cooking with Eric jumping in here. We have Joe ARAH, who I know has been going live every Sunday night. I know you go live another day. Check out Joe ARAH's channel if you haven't yet. Good guy. He was on Thursday with a friend. So go check out his channel. Give him some support. All the guys that he is associated with, the guys from the podcast, from the pit, they're nothing but stand-up people. In all honesty, man, they are true stand-up people. You know, I think we have a lot of good people in this community. We got a lot of shit bags too, but we got a lot of good people, and I like to feel that the people that at least that we are associated with are pretty good. So go check him and Podcast on the Pit and all those guys out. Snow Wolf has joined us. We got Robert from Action Figure Sold Separately. Go check out his stuff too. You guys keep on seeing it in my background. I have a feeling I'm going to have a little bit more when I come back from Joe Fest. As a matter of fact, I'm asking him to do something for me now, just so I have more room to take pictures. Krusty Old Crow is here. Lego Star Wars fan saying, I would like him. I would like him, but I can GI Joe. But can GI Joe? Can I buy with that money? I would like him. What can GI Joe? Can I buy? Okay, I totally see. This is when you don't always read the comments because sometimes they may have skipped something, sometimes in the middle of a conversation. And that was one of those when I should not have, but I did. And I don't think any of us are better off for it. But it's okay. It's okay. And Matthew and Ed have both dropped links to the crates, so please head on over there. Don't just look for the Punk with Toys crates. Look at everything that Random Diorama does. He makes amazing stuff. He's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun there. Has a wonderful channel, a wonderful live stream. It is Craft and Chill, I believe is what it's called on Friday nights. Complete opposite of everything I do. That is for sure. Boba Fett jumping in here saying, hello, everyone. G.I. Bro just saying thanks. Again, I really, really do mean it. It is awful, and it is one of those. It's one of those unfortunate things that we all have to go through. And you see those things on Instagram. And sorry if I'm making you, teary eyed or anything. They say, our pets are only here part of our life, but we are there their whole entire life. And it's rough, man. So seriously, I can just condole into the end. Russell Lemieux is jumping in here and Blue Barnell saying, yep, I did find you on Jerks, which is awesome. It means that we are expanding, and I absolutely love seeing that. Tony's Figs, who is one of the Jerkles. I don't know if he'll be on tomorrow or not. Usually this means he is on the AMBO because he's a paramedic or he's one of those ones. Same time, Toys is here. Then we got Devil Dog. We got Wraith May saying, hope hopping in today. Hello, and hit that like button, dude. Can't wait for the Marvel Legends, Marvel Rivals, Punisher. I'm excited for the fan stream tomorrow. See what's going to be shown tomorrow. So there's a Marvel fan stream tomorrow. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. 3-star draw jumping in here, and then we have Derek Hoover. He just did a podcast with yesterday's podcast. I'm sorry. Yesterday's podcast. They talked in G.I. Joe. I get a clip in it. Action Figs gets a clip in it. And that Ken guy. That Ken guy that I'm forced to say hi to every single time. He gets a clip in it. So, Ed, I don't know if you have a link for that because it is a true podcast. There's no video. Drop a link to that if you have that, Ed. Todd C, we have Graph jumping in. So don't worry, I'm here. Need to balance out all the good people in this community with a sprinkle of bad. I don't need any bad in my life. Bobby Wald saying, Pug, did you order any of the Order of the Crimson Mood Wave? We're getting ready to ship. Just got my notification. Oh, I have gotten nailed with it. And if it shows up tomorrow or even Wednesday, I will have it shipped. If I get it by Friday, you will see a whole bunch of hotel reviews because I will be there for work, not vacation, which I said then you can do that. And Bobby, I do apologize. I know Dookie sent me a message. I very rarely get on. I totally forgot, to be honest. I very rarely ever get on the what the hell is it called? I have it here. What the hell is it? What's the God, the Discord, right? So I hardly ever get on the Discord. I know you sent me a message. I completely apologize. send it to me on just email it to me. It'd be way easier if you want to message me, email. We do have a Punk with Toys Discord for anyone that has the second tier, the toy enablers. I will start resending it out. I got to get back on and start talking on there more. I just completely forgot, but we do have a Discord. So yes, I'm definitely going to get back on that and start shooting out pictures, talking a little bit more there. So let's make that a thing again. M. Hatfield jumping in here saying, "Hey there, everyone." Woo. All right, I think that's just about everyone. Oh wait, we got Chattanooga Egg saying, "Hey guys, I'm watching playing Boulder Gate at the same time. Thanks for streaming. Thank you for watching. It is definitely appreciated." All right, and there we are to the end. Woo. It's a lot of people. If you're new to the channel, maybe you're watching. I just like to say hi to everyone. In all honesty, I'd like to say hi to everyone. You guys are wasting some of your time with me, and I'm hoping I can make your Mondays a little bit more brighter as we finish up that first day of a long work week. All right. I'm trying to see. Do I have anything else on here? Yeah. So the acid rain. I'm just going to kind of talk about this a little bit again here. You know, we've talked about this. I know people are super excited for it. I will say this, look wise, I really do think that it is the best looking of the guys that have made All Strikers. I mean, that's Hasbro, that's Gridiron, and then there's I think it's the one that probably looks the most realistic. And there are some really neat features on here, but you know, this is where you really do realize certain things are not meant for classified. They're made to work on it, but they're not always able to fit everything in there, right? And I did like the way they made it so, you know, the whole top like swings up so you can fit the figures in there. You don't have to worry about taking them in, taking them out, or sliding them down. I like that, although sometimes the top doesn't want to stay on all that well. If you watched it, the gun is kind of far up, so their arms don't really reach all the way up there, and they may work for the Acid Rain 6-inch figures. The tires are what they are. The tires are what they are. They're easy to pop on and pop off, but I can also see them coming off when you're trying to mess around with them. It should have come with a machine gun on the front. I like the idea that they gave you this piece that can hold pretty much various different machine guns from different companies, but it sits pretty far up there, which means that it is hard for the figure to reach all the way up there and mess around with it. And it is a really tight fit. So the two figures next to each other, if you watch the video, you can kind of see. But the detail on this is really good. The make on, like the way that it's made, is good. I see why people like it. I will say, after looking at both of them, I haven't really had a chance to play with it, but the All Striker just like it fits better. Like it's technically made better for it. And it is pretty bland without putting any stickers on it. So I do probably want to pick up a couple Cobra stickers that maybe will work with it. So let's see quickly. We had Joe Fan jumping in here. Joe Fan 84. Great to have you here. But yeah, I think I think people will like it for sure. You know, I like the blast effect to a point, except for it's like plugged in the middle and it shows like, you know, Gatling guns fire off the top barrel. They're just spinning. All the barrels are not firing. It is to keep it cool as it's spinning, so it doesn't overheat one barrel. That's the whole purpose of it. So it looks cool, and again, it's a toy. It's you're gonna be doing photography with it, so it does look pretty cool. You know, the same way that you get with the Rumbler. But I gotta say, for $120, the detail on uh, the dashboard is way better than what $325 got me for the M.A.S.K Rumbler. Once again, it comes with a figure. So if you say, hey, those figures are, you know, $125, you're still looking at $200. The Rumbler is all just black. This has a nice wash that makes it look like it's dirt coming on the bottom. The lighting could be a little bit better. Then I talked about it. They get knocked off fairly easily. Uh, Getting the batteries in annoyed the shit out of me, but I'm hoping I won't have to replace them all the time. So anyway, there you go with that. Go check out the seriously, go check out the review and decide if you want to spend $120 on it. Again, this kind of goes back to my fact of my opinion that people are complaining about how much the spoiler cost being $110, but some people are spending $120 on a vehicle alone. That it has some lighting. Half of you will never use the lighting. It's not USB-C, so it's not like you can plug it in and have it on all the time. So anyway, quickly we have M. Hatfield, who over here it says upgraded the membership to Super Toy Enabler, but here it just tells me it became a YouTube member. So basically, what you're going to get is a
welcome to the creamery,
and also a
fucking Phil Collins.
Just because it shows me that you upgraded. It's odd that YouTube can tell me what it is, but this one definitely cannot. So anyway, there you go. And 3 stars saying, hey, it has lights. This would have been $300 for Hasbro, so we could get a hot dog stand with it. Darren, try not to be so negative and down on certain things. Yes, Hasbro upgrades things, they upscale things for the Haslab. That's the whole purpose of doing it as a Haslab and making it a dream project. You make it a dream project by adding all this stuff that you wouldn't be able to do in a regular release. And some people may not like the upgrades, but that's what makes it fun for guys that are going to do photography and stuff. So, but anyway. I want to say thank you to Airborne's Customs, who was my guest on Thursday with the friend. He let in on a lot of things that I already knew that I did not want to talk about unless if he wanted to. He said, and we talked about it, he's like, I really don't get asked to be on people's shows. I'm like, well, that may change because now people know that you have done the spec sheets, or you've given spec sheets to the G.I. Joe Classified team on what maybe they should change, what they need to fix, what should be on, what shouldn't be on. That's why when everyone says they don't consult with anyone, I'm like, that's not true. They have actual consultants. They have actual consultants that have served in the military. So I told them, like, don't be surprised if you start getting calls from people or messages from people saying, hey, we'd love to have you on or whatever. So we got Cobb Webb jumping in here saying, yo, I think he's still a little bitter how amazingly wonderful my Scare Glow is doing. Speaking of that Scare Glow, again, I have never had luck with Master of the Universe to the Scare Glow. I was like one of the first people. I just found it, yesterday. Yesterday I just happened to look at my YouTube studio, and I looked at, like, especially when the when this was fresh, right? The acid rain video, right? So I look at the last 60 minutes and all of a sudden I see 117 views on something, and I just assumed that it was the vehicle, and I realized it was the Scare Glow. Now this is like twice in like a week that once it jumped up to like 97 views out of nowhere, which tells me that it's embedded in a website more than likely, that somebody put it on there, which I don't mind. I'm not arguing, but it's just weird because videos like we do, if they do jump into the hundreds per hour, it's the first day, maybe the second day if it's a huge video. It doesn't happen on a video that's like a month old. So it was interesting to look at that and go, oh, and then it just died down again. And anyone that deals with like YouTube studios and looks at it, it's just interesting to see. Very interesting. And like I said, I don't get that lucky. This guy here, B's Battleground, he may get that all the time. They just don't listen to those consultants. They do for some things. I don't think it's fully true. I mean, Darren really talks about what he was involved with, what he talked about, certain changes that they they leaned into, that they did change. But he was, hey, you know what, they didn't change what rock and roll was coming with, which he wanted them to have like with the 240, I think he said, which I think they probably should have with the boxed classified, and then with the retro classified came up with the big M60. So anyway, and then we have Woody 222 saying, "What's up, people? Just finished organizing toys into bins." You know what, Woody? You're here so much, and I literally have things just for you. So it is, and I'll give that to you free because I never really went and changed it. Woody likes fart sounds. He's truly a 12-year-old boy. Todd C. All right. Anyway, this week I have the one and only Mark from Mark II Designs, Mark II Toys. This is a guy that I have thought about having on for quite some time, and I've never reached out to him. I've said it before. There's not too many people that are doing stuff in the industry that actually came up to me and would seek me out and say hi to me. Not that he didn't seek me out. He saw me, and I went up to him at Joe Fest 24 and, went up to say hi and want to take a picture, and he knew who I was, which totally fucking shocked me. It was awesome. And it's one of those things that makes you like, wow, like, and he's like, I really like what you do, man. And, again, saw him at Joe Fest 25, saw him at Assembly Required, and I reached out to him. One of the fastest people to get back to me. Said, yep, sends me a picture of it on his calendar, which is also cool. So Mark II is going to be on. If you've been watching anything with GI Customs, he is, I don't know if they have, and him and I will talk about it, I'm sure, if they have like an exclusive deal where he gets his designs. But GI Customs is, printing them up and selling them and doing a marvelous job, kicking ass in that. So that will be my guest this Thursday. And then quickly, I wasn't asking for it, but thank you very much.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Woody 222 with the 1999 super chat saying, just because, and because of that, you get the once again. Thank you so much, Woody. It is greatly appreciated. But anyway, and then after that, I will not. The following week, I have no shows, no Monday show, no Thursday with a friend, as I will be in New York for training. So I'm not going to try and do anything like this. What I am going to say, I probably will be on Circle of Jerks, which is on Tuesdays. I don't have to do anything. I have my laptop that I can plug in, or even if my phone, if I had to. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to create anything. So it makes it way easier than that. So that's probably the only time that you will see me live next week. The following Thursday, I also will not be live, as I will be on Toy Domination at the end of the month on his channel. He reached out to me, and it was before I had looked at scheduling anything. And because I'm going right into, after that, the drive to Joe Fest, bringing on groups of different people that are going to be at Joe Fest. It's going to be a change of Thursday with a Friend. It is not going to be like that forever, but for the 2 months leading up to it, things are going to change, right? And it's going to be all people that are going to be at Joe Fest, but groups of people that are in their own little, I hate saying cliques, but their own little cliques. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we will get back to what we were doing on Thursday with a Friend. And I know people really enjoy that show. I'm so proud of that show. And I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. And I think that we're getting to the point where I'm going to start bringing back some guests that I had early on to talk about what's been going on with them and obviously kind of like go back. I mean, you look at talk shows, they bring people back all the time and talk to them. It is a very long format, as most of you know, but I thought, like, hey, we're going to do this. I don't even need to talk to these people again. And that's not that I ever need to talk to them again, but it's there. So if someone wants to go back and watch it, but my style of talking, has changed. It's become more of a conversation rather than an interview. So, and then Woody says, get Lenny again. It's right here. At the same time, I guess is agreeing. You know what? I would not mind to do that at all. You know, the Hasbro guys, at least on the G.I. Joe team, are a little bit more difficult. And what I mean by that is everything kind of has to go through Hasbro for some reason. It has to be recorded. I'd love to do it live. It probably wouldn't be as hard now since he knows exactly what it's about, what we talk about, that we don't get into it. I'd love to have Tony on. I've never really talked to Tony. So I'd love to have some of those guys, but that is one of the ideas that I have had. So that's probably, if not this year, maybe going into next year. Next year for sure, I'm going to start having repeat guests. Billy Boy says, Punk, bring back a Shark Guys. He's one of the ones that I definitely would because he was early on. And the other thing with Shark Guys, I didn't get to talk to him. I talked to him live, but it was a recorded one because oddly enough, I was in Disney. So it was 3 years ago. I can't believe I'm doing that show for that long. But yeah. And so, you know, we have MC Mazza saying, invite Tony's Figs. Tony's actually the one that I probably talked to the most about doing it. So much has changed with him in his life. And him and I just have wonderful chemistry. To be 100% honest. So it is crazy. And yes, he's one of the ones that I definitely would have on again. But anyway, 3 stars saying this past Saturday was my second year Thursday with a Friend anniversary. How do you know that? Are you serious? Like I have no idea. Billy Boy says, wow, I had no idea it was 3 years. I'm trying to think. I went to Disney. Well, we went to Disney in July because it was right around my son's birthday. And it was before Joe Fest. So yeah, almost 3 years ago. So it was probably recorded just about 3 years ago. But yeah. Grizzlehorn jumping in here saying hit the like button or Tony won't get his hair back. Bees Battleground says I've had 2 kids since I. God, see this is what's crazy. Like I've had so many people on, and you're only doing it once a week. And unlike everyone else that's doing stuff in our community, you know, they just keep bringing back the same person over and over, and it's that relationship that you grow with them, you know. And I wanted something different. I didn't want just a toy talk. I mean, we talk way too many toys as it is, but you know, everyone just wants to bring on whoever could help their numbers, right? I mean, I'm not saying anything that isn't true, but I wanted to bring on people that, you know, maybe I could help their numbers out. But I wanted people that have supported me and just have a wonderful story. Find out what their story is. But yeah, like the format is what makes it very difficult to bring people back on because you want to bring someone back on, you know, a few months later, Like your life hasn't changed. Uh, your life hasn't changed. But yeah, the one with Shark Eyes has been roughly 3 years ago. And Derek says, I would love, I would, it would be fun to stream again with you, Lawrence. Maybe I won't yell at anyone. Don't worry. It's seriously, you're not the only one that's probably yelled at that person. A lot of people have yelled at him since then. GI Jetman jumping in here. Let's see, Graph saying Punk hitting that wine like it's soda. I don't drink. That is pop. I have never drank in my entire life, so I'm definitely not going to start on a live stream. Definitely not starting on a live stream. 3 star says 3 star says no need to have Derek Hoover on again so he can go the fuck off on trolls. Oh, so I need to have. It's not the first time a guest on my show, Tony, has gone off on somebody. Now, the difference was that Derek went off on somebody who deserved it. Tony went off on somebody who he thought was attacking Shark Eyes, but in actuality, he just had something wrong and he was trying to play into the game. And that guy probably left the stream and was like, fuck you guys. You guys are assholes. Guy yelling and screaming at me. And all I was trying to do is be part of the stream. I wasn't insulting anyone. And Tony still feels shitty to this day. Yes, Pulp Fiction. I don't even know how you would find that stream, but it would be a random stream. It would not be a Monday Night Toy Ramblings. It would not be Thursday with a Friend. It was a random stream that we did. Yes, English. Do you speak it? Say what? It was interesting. I would, I got to go find that one again. I got to get that clip. Tony's done some really interesting shit on my show. He's 2 years in a row. He has won for the Black Friday giveaway while on stream. Last year he did the Tony dance. I don't have that, but the Circle of Jerks, we have it. He yelled and screamed at a guy who was trying to participate. Yeah, so Tony's done some stuff on my stream. That's pretty interesting. And I'm glad some of you remember because it was pretty awesome. So anyway, going back to next week, no shows other than I will probably be on Circle of Jerks. Tomorrow I will be on Circle of Jerks at 6:30-ish. Marvel live stream tomorrow. So I'm assuming we will be talking about that. And then after that at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., actually 10 p.m., we'll have the evening blend. But I do want to mention, now, Matthew, feel free at this time to post a link to your show tomorrow. I don't really get to push it because it's on Sundays. Check out the Toilet. That is, my moderator. Action Figs along with Travis, Mr. Wonderful, Hexastack. They had a wonderful stream last night. Go check it out. Terrence and his lovely wife or girlfriend, I think it's his wife. I apologize if it is not. They were on. They talk more independent stuff. Sometimes Travis will try and make jokes at me. They're not funny because Travis really isn't that funny. But he did finally get his Hexastacks to market. And I had to, message him and say, hey, I need you to do some other things before I can put it in a review because I think that people won't be happy. There's nothing wrong with the product. Just something that needs to be changed for the size of different feet that he was a little on the fence of. So I messaged him this weekend. He's going to be adjusting that. Once he sends that out to me, I get him in hand. I will do a full review of the Hexastack and give my honest opinion of it. And I like the idea. Even though I'm not a stands guy, I like the tiered system. If you don't know what Hexastacks is, you can head over to thehexastack.com, see what it's all about, and then go from there. But you'll see what I'm talking about. But once I get to the review, I think people will be pretty happy about it. 3-star says it's April 13th. Someone needs to get on making Cinco de Mayo Licky Baldy. We already had one. he has the Easter. He has the Easter bunny right now because Easter fell. We have men who's jumping in here. Woo! All right. And then who else did I see? U.S. Combat Dojo. Oh, look at this. Stiv Chom is here. And look, Alice and Troy, my absolute first Thursday with a friend. When I get back to repeats, she definitely will be someone that I have on this. A lot in her life has changed for sure. Not her love for the name of Carl. She still hates the people named Carl and their moms. And their moms. All right, so as it was mentioned, BBTS is like, oh, you guys like having money? Well, fuck you. So do we. So, let's see. The Soldiers of Fortune, the set of 6 that I already have, I think 5 of them already reviewed, or 3 of them already reviewed, maybe 2. I forget what it is. That set will be coming in. All the Crimson Moon, the Agents of Omega, and then along with the monkey in a suit. I can't believe I said that, but the little monkey in the suit. It's the exclusive. Those are all going to be hitting. And like I said, if they come in tomorrow, I will have them ship, which I will have them by Friday, which means I will literally be doing hotel reviews. And I know Agent Carter. I thought Agent Carter was Peggy Carter, right? Isn't it Peggy Carter? I don't know. But yes. I really enjoy the stuff. If it does come, this means this will be the second time I will be reviewing a shitload of figures from Big Bad Workshop in a hotel, because last time I went down for training, I had a whole bunch too, if you remember. Yes, hotel room reviews are awful. Again, there's supposed to be a lot of stuff coming from G.I. Joe while I'm at Joe Fest and going into Florida. I can promise you, when I'm on vacation, you will not see any hotel reviews. Okay, I do not go on vacation, hang out with my friends or family, and then go lock myself up in a room. I know people do it from Joe Fest. I've seen that numerous times. I'm not going to do that. But if you're sitting there for training and you have nothing else going on, then it's okay. I also say that's okay because I'm doing it, and of course I'm going to say that it's okay if I do something. So Tim Brower is here. But anyway, so once again, we'll get into the toy news. There is a bunch of stuff. I've successfully wasted 50 minutes. I'd say an hour, but technically I started 10 minutes late. But I do have to mention, if you are interested, we do have merch. It is in the description down there. I'm going to be putting up the Joe Fest shirts. I think I'm going to be putting up Joe Fest shirts, where I will only have them up through Joe Fest. When I get back from Florida, they're going to be pulled down. And it is Roman Duke. That's what I was doing. I know I showed them off somewhere what I was going to do. I'm planning on having those stickers too. It's only going to be during that time that I will be giving them away, and only the people that go to Joe Fest. So if you don't go to Joe Fest, you're not going to get the Joe Fest Roman Duke sticker. But you can get Circle of Jerks shirts. You can get the classic A Punk with Toys shirt, which is Division Streetwear. Also, as we dropped already earlier, if you guys can drop it again, the link to Random Dioramas crates. I want to see more of these pictures with those. That's the whole reason why him and I discussed doing this. I know people absolutely love the Hella Dope Toys ones, but I want my logo. I want you guys listen, my ego, it needs to be bigger. All right. Ed's already said if we go into a fucking toy store and if we go into the toy store at or anywhere in Webster, New York, and someone knows me, he's already said he's gonna lose his mind. I will fucking record that shit. So if there's anyone in Webster, New York, we will be there. We will be walking around, going to the toy stores this Saturday and possibly Sunday. I think there's a toy museum too. He said not too far, so we might go do that on Sunday. I would say he was supposed to look into it, but I don't know if we ever discussed who was supposed to look. But he should go look because he's the one who brought it up to me. Anyway, okay, let's get into a little bit of toy news. But before we do, I need a breather. And again, we do have I have a show tomorrow that I do on Baldy Locks channel. Here's a little bit about it.
Welcome back to Late Night with M.A.S.K. Oh man, we've had such a crazy ride so far with all the amazing guests and shows that we've watched throughout this 36-hour stream. And I want to make sure y'all know we got to keep donating. We got to keep getting them numbers up. Skeletor, what are you doing here? Skeletor has come for the circle jerk. Ooh. Come again? That's the plan. Skeletor, I think you're confused. There's no this is a Late Night with Mothman, so I don't know what you're referring to. Man, Tony's Figs told me I could meet 4 bald men here for a circle jerk. And Skeletor will not leave until he's satisfied. Skeletor, I think you might be confused with the show. It's called Circle of Jerks, and they're not on right now. Then they like do a show like every week or every other week or something. I don't watch it. Fool! I promise you, Skeletor is not confused. Skeletor, I'm trying to tell you there's no circle jerk going on here right now.
I got this. Skeletors. What you're looking for is it's back here in the back.
Yes. Skeletor will be satisfied. I don't even know what's happening anymore, guys. So maybe we just kick it back to the 36-hour live stream and y'all just keep donating money for Toys for Tots. Yeah, Late Night with Mothman, I guess.
All right. There's nothing to donate today, so don't be looking at where to donate. That will come at the end of October. Again, there's a lot of new people, tuning in that probably didn't know. I know Blue Barnell, he just found out about. Just so you guys know, I will be doing again 36-hour long live stream where with the in association with Sergeant Reds, the local toy store, we raise money for Toys for Tots. So anything donated through the super chats, or if you want to avoid the YouTube fees, you can donate it directly to me on my well, you can either do it through Venmo. Don't do it now. So please don't Venmo or PayPal. And then we're able to donate to Toys for Tots for that November. So we can help kids in the Detroit area have a good Christmas. And it was something that Sergeant Reds does. He would tell me that, all these people come in and they look at the Toys for Tots box. They say, oh, that is so awesome. And then they wouldn't buy anything. oh, that's awesome that you do it, and then walk away with $300 worth of toys and can't, spend $25 on a Marvel Legend that's classified and throw it in there for kids. And I was like, hey, would you be willing to, uh, do something that I can use you as a sponsor? And he said, yep. And so they give me everything at, I believe, at cost or close to what cost is for them, so we can get even more. So if you're new to the channel and you're wondering what that's about and why you're seeing a telethon, that's because we've done it 2 years. I guess we're now calling it the Punkathon. It was not my idea. I was fine with the Streamathon, but that was what everyone else wanted to call it. Last year we raised 30. What did we raise last year, guys? $3,200, something like that. I actually have it right here. 3,027 last year is what we raised, and the year before that we raised 2,600, I think. So I want to raise more. I want to raise 4,000. I don't see why we can't raise 4,000. But anyway, that is in October, and yes, I sit here for almost a full 36 hours. Almost a full 36 hours at the end of October, so it's not too close to Christmas. So you guys can get your, $5 in, $20 if possible. Some people have donated much more. I don't know why I'm talking about that, other than people probably were wondering why when I play some of these videos, they think it's some of them think that it's like, is he asking for money? Like, no, I'm not asking for money right now. I just need a breather. All right. And then we have No Jen jumping in saying, hi, all. Have I missed the G.I. Joe? No, G.I. Joe talk comes at the end. G.I. Joe talk comes at the end. Just remember, G.I. Joe talk will always come at the end, unless if we have something huge to talk about, like maybe Marvel Legends next week. But by that time, everyone will have talked. Well, I will have already talked about it. Oh, I'm not doing the show next week, so because it's not going to come. Skunk Work Studio jumping in here. And Jose says, when you do that, please put a warning on your Halo Joe review, just like last year. Scared a little turtle out of me. If no one's ever watched, if there's anyone that hasn't watched my Halo, the Halo Jump review, G.I. Joe, the Halo Jumper, go watch it. You gotta watch to the end. I go in super slow motion, and when I say super slow motion, so I talked to Woody about this, and Woody said he does the same thing, or his has done the same thing. Sometimes it's like one time it flipped me upside down, and I didn't know, so now I have to watch because I use the iPhone. I use iMovie to create all my videos, to do everything on my iPhone, to make my reviews. And so there was a couple times that I was upside down. Once I went upside down, I didn't realize it. It's only part of it. But I go into super slow motion. And when I say super slow motion, it is, you watch it on 2x and it's still slow motion. But go watch the Halo Jump video only after you finish this. And then you also go and watch the my latest Vex Hobby, the Acid Rain video. Okay. U.S. Combat Dojo says, my son and his wife don't live far from Webster, and there's a cool vintage toy store I've been to when I visited. They're called Bartontown Collectibles. I think that's where we looked, and I think they're open till 7. So I should be there before then. But anything is up to change for sure. I mean, if I get out of here at the time that I'm thinking, I should get into New York before then. But yeah, that's what we were looking at. And I definitely want to check out some of the toys, a toy store if they have one there. War Chest is here, and we have Tristan T also. Woo! All right. Let's get into this. And we have Masters of the Universe. Now they decided to start pumping out some stuff, and I gotta say, man, these Chronicles, I mean, I really like this Scaregirl that I have right here. Bobby B ordered the King Grayskull, I think is. I don't like that figure, that face, but go check out B's Battleground if you want to know if it's something you should order off Mattel Creations. I don't like it. I don't like the face, but the Scareglow is a kick-ass figure. So we talked about Trapjaw last week. I like the shininess of him. I think it really works. And rather than give him a gun, they just put they put the blast cap on the arm. But you can change it. You can put the hook on it. You can put the knife on it. He has an extra and grabby hand that looks like he's probably grabbing Evelyn's buttocks. That's a no-no. But anyway, there you go. We talked about this last week, so I didn't really get too deep into it. But we got our first look at Battle Cat. And this is actually pretty cool. So he does have the full-on armor, right? He has the full-on armor. So I think that people are going to be interested in this. I like him without it too. Like I'm really excited for this. And I think some of it might be because I don't feel like I need all of them. And I really like what Mondo's doing. But Mondo, you're talking over $100 a figure. If we're looking at under $30 of figures, and I can start picking and choosing the core figures, then, and by core, I mean the core main characters that I grew up on, I'll probably start picking up some of them. Very impressed and happy with that Scareglow. Like I think most people have been so far. Beardy McBeardison says, I don't do Mo2, but can they even make a bad Trapjaw? It's very difficult. He's so fucking cool, dude. Like, as a kid, swapping out the arm. I mean, he was just awesome. Warchest says, I like the Trapjaw, but I wish the head was a little better. Battle Cat is pretty cool. Really want the cat for customs. Yeah, I mean, this is, again, I think we can do a lot with it. Here we can see He-Man on it. And this is where I go when I look at Chronicles, I'm like, okay, do I wait for them to do a classic regular He-Man in Chronicles or get the movie one? And we'll show that in a second. So, again, I like this. I like everything about the Battle Cat. He's pretty fucking cool, man. So there he is. They really pack him into that box. So maybe you get a smaller footprint of the box there. But there you see Battle Cat. He's got growling teeth. I don't know if he has that big of nails, but man, they put it in the box. And Lego Star Wars Kids says, why can't they make Thundercats in this style? Because Super 7 owns the rights, owns the master license to Thundercats. Although M.A.S.K looks like they're going to start doing them. I don't know if people want to spend that much money, but I'm interested to see. We have Figure Freak jumping in here saying that Bad Kitty is spraying. I don't feel like I've ever seen Figure Freak.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Yeah, and Jamie Garcia says Battle Cat's jaw looks articulated. If so, awesome. I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, yeah, you can actually see that it's closed there and it's open there. There's no reason for a Battle Cat this size to not have an articulated jaw. I think we all can agree with that, right? We have the G.I. Joe pets. Some of them have articulated jaws, and they're much smaller. Battle Cat is more than just like a pet, right? I mean, he is an actual character in the Master of the Universe lore. There's no reason why he should not have an articulated jaw. We see much smaller figures from smaller companies doing it. So I think most people are going to be really happy with what Mattel is doing. And this is just kind of like a prelude, in my opinion, to what they're going to give us with DC, and I can't wait to see the DC stuff. My wallet, on the other hand, is probably like, yeah, you can wait, motherfucker. So anyway, TK Storm says, I'm all in on the 1/12 Mondo. I'll get this Battle Cat and Trapjaw until Mondo releases them. Yeah, and again, Mondo, you're paying a lot more. The detail is way better, right? I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. And if you have the money and you're like, I want one definitive Masters of the Universe in 1/12 scale, I think that's what you're going to go with. I don't want to spend that. And again, it's Mondo, so you don't know how many you're going to get, right? Kind of like if you said, hey, you know what? I'm going all in on the M.A.S.K, G.I. Joes. That's what I want. And then they stop at like 7, and you're like, hello, more, please. Anyway, here is He-Man. I'm not a huge fan of He-Man from the movie. I don't think it looks bad. I actually am excited for the movie, so I'm not saying anything about the movie. But I guess when I think of He-Man, I want He-Man to have that look of the original He-Man. I don't want him to be He-Man, okay? I don't want to be one of those G.I. Joe guys who I only want the original 13 or 82 through 84, which is what our topic will be. I want that aesthetic with new articulation, and obviously in a 1/12 scale. So this doesn't look bad if you really want the movie. I just don't think that I want the movie looking He-Man, so hopefully they'll give another one. But we'll see, right? We will see for sure. Figure Freak says, does Trapjaw have an articulated jaw? I think he does. I mean, they give you an articulated jaw on the Origins. I can't imagine they wouldn't here. But it's hard to see. Some of the other pictures I have, we may see. Like I said, I've covered him in the past few weeks, so I didn't put a lot of pictures into him. But if you looked at some of the other pictures, I'm not saying go through my last live streams. You can if you want. It'd be awesome. But yeah, you'd probably see if the jaw moves. But I don't see why they wouldn't do it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it in that picture, but if you look at some of the other solicitations, and someone in here has to be able to see that, you'll see that if the jaw is moving around. And that's one of those ones I agree it should, right? Tipo Dina says, or Sideshow Joe's, and they stopped at 31. Yeah, again, Mattel, they own the license like the same way, Hasbro owns G.I. Joe. So they don't own the license, they own the property. All right, here we have our Man-at-Arms. See, so like, again, I like the way these look, but, for me, it's like, do I wait to see if they do a more origin style? Because this is movie style, and they are different, man. Like, they are different. And again, if you want to work them in and mix and match, you're more than welcome to. I mix and match my G.I. Joes, so I don't have a problem with putting the movie figures. Oh, there's only 5 movie figures. I don't have a problem putting them in with the other classified. And same with Marvel Legends. But I have a feeling that in the Chronicles, because they are a different size scale, just a slight different, that we're going to see the original look. And that's what I'm more interested in, to be 100% honest. These do look good here. Man-at-Arms looks cool. He has his mace. He does have a gun. They are kind of light on accessories, though. That is the one thing that I definitely noticed. So, again, 2 fists, a gun, and the mace. This is your property, but you are keeping. Well, I guess I can't say too much because, again, they're $28 now, so they're the same price as a G.I. Joe classified, and we all understand, may not like it. We understand why the Star Wars and Marvel Legends, why they don't give that many accessories due to the licensing rights. But G.I. Joe, you see, they give more accessories. They should be doing the same with this here. So, but yeah, this is again, I like it. It looks good, but I'm more interested in possibly seeing stuff from the original remake, remaking it that way. But yeah, I like this stuff. Yes, so these are more classified scale. So these are more of a 6.5 scale. I mean, this is Scareglow. He sits about the exact same height is a little bit taller. Hold on, let me remove this quickly. So he sits a little bit taller, but he fits in. So this is, the Skeletron figure. They're supposed to scale better. And this is what have given people a lot of hope for the DC license, because what everyone wants is they want them to scale with Marvel Legends, right? Everyone wants to have Batman and Superman on a shelf with, Wolverine and Captain America. That's what people are wanting, and that's what people are hoping to get. So hopefully that's exactly what we're going to get. But yes, these will scale more with that. And Figure Freak says, "Oh, the good guys look fine, but there's just something undesirable about him. It may be the human face." That is always an issue, especially when you're doing real live people, right? So I do get that. Now, I do think Skeletor has a good look to him. He has soft goods. I love the Havoc staff. Nice little paint apps on it. I think he looks really good. And this is one I don't know how I don't pick this one up. And they're supposed to have this new articulation. It is good for Skeleglow, but there are some things that I definitely wish were a little bit better, I guess is the best way to say it. What is Allison saying, "I don't fuck with Marvel Legends, DC rules." Hey, you can do that, but I want Batman with Captain America to scale, and I don't want to have to spend $100 or over $100 on a M.A.S.K or one of these other higher Mafex to make it work. Graf says Skeletor lost his face and his nipples. Maybe he's wearing a bodysuit. But I like this Skeletor, and it looks like he has a wired cape. I like the fabric texture and the color on. I really like this figure. So this is one. If I see this in store, my bank account's going to get a little bit lighter, and then I'm back to collecting Motu. But I don't have a problem with having one definitive Master of the Universe. Like, hey, this is what I'm going to have. There's no reason for an 80s kid that loved. I loved Motu growing up. It was He-Man. I loved He-Man growing up. Even though I didn't have a whole bunch of He-Man figures, a friend of mine did, and that's where we went over and played with his stuff. So, but anyway, this is from the movie, but I think it looks good. And again, Figure Freak, as he said, yep, and he's responding to, when you're doing human faces of a real person, yes, you get them right when it is Hot Toys, right? But you're also paying $300. It is a bigger figure. And sometimes, Marvel Legends, they nail it. Other times they don't. And I think that's why people will keep the Marvel Legend, MCU figures separate from their proper Marvel Legends. So, and then we have, I'm on the fence. I've always loved Triclops, but I don't know. There's something about this guy that I don't know if I really like. He could fit in with G.I. Joe for sure. And he has a uniqueness to him, but he doesn't have a uniqueness I want my Triclops to have. And I don't know what it is. And maybe seeing different eyes, and maybe seeing it turn. Maybe when I see the movie, I'm going to feel completely different. I do look at the gun and I'm just like, that is just too I mean, that looks too much like a real world sniper rifle. And I don't know. But there's something about this figure, and normally I love Triclops. Him and Trapjaw, again, I think they're awesome. Almost every iteration, but there's something about this that I'm just like, I don't know. J Solo Art says, Punk, I think the Mattel DC will scale like their WWE, which claims 1/12, but it is noticeably bigger than Legends or Classified. Well, Spec, Toy Optics, who is on Circle of Jerks, he has said that an insider that he knows has said that, hey, you guys are really going to like you're really going to like what's coming. And those core figures, their kids figures, which they have said the heads will be universal. They've snuck those. Someone snuck into Marvel Legends and compared them and said they scale properly. That was the original thought, because that's what Masterverse scaled with. But Chronicles, it is a different scale by only like an inch, half inch or whatever. So that's what people are hoping, and that's what I'm hoping for. And I think most people are, because they're like, I think it would be dumb doing a 7-inch scale. And the reason why I say that is you're just coming off of McFarlane having it, right? So you're coming off of them having it, and people are going to say, why do I want another Batman? Now, people might be pissed off that, oh, now it's a whole new scale. But now you're going to have the Marvel Legends guys like myself that are like, that Superman fits. Batman, Wonder Woman, right? They now fit and they scale with my Marvel Legends. And again, I don't have to have them on the same shelf. But if you're someone like me who's now starting to do photography, or just do an epic scene of Thor and Superman going at it, something that we know will never get a real look at it, like when they do a comic book, they're never going to let one of their main Marvel characters and main DC characters beat the hell out of each other and one actually win. You can now do that. And that's what people want. And I think Mattel would be smart to do it that way, because we're all clamoring for it for the most part. But anyway, Derek Hoover says, I almost like that they are moving away from being a swordsman and making him a posable marksman. Almost puts him in sharp contrast to Man-at-Arms. Okay, I just don't like that the gun looks more human-based, is what I'm saying. I don't have a problem that he's like going to use like a sniper, but I wish it would be more of like a futuristic sniper, because I don't think of He-Man and Master Universe with bullets. This even has like, a magazine in it. That's what I'm saying. I actually don't mind the way the gun looks. I just don't think it looks right on him. But we all have different ideas, and we could all use something different because we have 1,000 different weapons. So there he is in his box. All right, M.A.S.K. No, I know not everyone is super happy with the M.A.S.K. I don't have any of the M.A.S.K. figure or M.A.S.K. vehicles. I feel that they are overpriced. This is something that we have discussed. I know a lot of people cancel them. I believe they've already gone on sale because they are so expensive. But this is Wave 2, and there's a specific reason. So what we have here is Wave 2, the heavy hitters. We have the Hurricane, Gator, Stealth Submarine Cycle, and Armored Assault Vehicle. Now, I do like what they're doing with M.A.S.K. Unfortunately, I haven't watched any of the reviews on this stuff, but from my understanding is that there's a few QC issues, right? And that's disappointing, especially for the price that these guys are charging. There's no doubt about it, man. You're going to charge a hefty price. You should eliminate some QC, especially when you can almost go for the same price and get the vintage one. Like, why do you want to spend something that's going to have less, more QC issues? Yeah, you get blast effects and stuff like that, but you're not really getting a better bang for your buck. And there we have a Baldy Locks jumping in saying just in time for Rocky. And I need to see if Spec can give me my own lickety baldy. So when you come in, we can play a punk version of it. Allison says they appear to be overpriced, but if you adjust for inflation, the original retail price of 1980 M.A.S.K, 1980s M.A.S.K, these are not much more expensive, especially just enough to cover the licensing fee. Again, the issue is that you can almost buy some of these. You can buy the original ones for the same price, right? That's kind of where the problem comes in. Like, if I can go buy the vintage one for the same price, why am I going to buy this one? They didn't change it enough, right? They basically, here you go. Like, they should have done some modifications to it. And I said before, like, one of the things that they should have done with M.A.S.K, they're doing 4 vehicle waves. They should have done 3 classic vehicles and 1 completely new build, right? The new Camaro rather than having the old style Camaro, a completely new build. Like, that's how you're supposed to expand a line. But when people start talking about the QC issues and the quality, that's where you got to go. All right, you know what? These are overpriced for that. If parts are falling off, parts are breaking, yeah, I'm sorry, like that doesn't cut it. Not in this day and age and for what we're paying for it. But anyway, here is the Stealth Submarine Cycle. I actually have one. I actually have the submarine downstairs. I bought it in a lot that just sits downstairs in a box. I should probably throw it on eBay and see if I can get rid of it. 3-star says, this wave of M.A.S.K vehicles has all my favorite vehicles from the line, with the exception of Rhino. I just can't justify the expense on them, especially with the hit or miss issues. Again, that's probably my bigger issue. Here is Built Mayhem Tough. The Armored Assault Vehicle Mayhem. I never had this. I love this vehicle, right? You have a big, this big burly early SUV. You have a turret that pops up, guns in the front here. I do like the blast effects. I like what they've done with the blast effects, right? It adds to it. I know a lot of people that are doing photography, they don't really care for blast effects. They'd rather impose them in afterwards. But I still think that they serve their purpose. And I love this vehicle. And I think this one looks good. And I'm tempted. I don't know where I put it, but I'm truly tempted. So there's this one. The Gator, I'm not a huge fan of. It is a Jeep. I'm a Mopar guy. The sled here is very reminiscent of that crappy sled that came off the whale for G.I. Joe. I can never understand this vehicle, as it doesn't really transform. It opens up and shoots out. So it's technically not transforming all that much. And it kind of reminded me of a cheap Stomper. It was like a total knockoff Stomper, even though it was much bigger. But anyway, this one is coming with the hydroplane attack mode. But then there's this one, the Hurricane. This was one that I had as a kid. My dad loved the 57 Chevy. I think that's the only reason why I got it. I'm still not a huge fan of 6 wheels. But I love the way that when you pushed it down, they went up. I loved how it flipped up and you had the turret on the top and you had the gun that came out. The only thing that I really don't like is that they had to put a port in there for blast effects. So now it just it really stands out. If I buy any of them, I will buy this one. Only because I had it as a kid. And this was the one M.A.S.K. I mean, I had a few M.A.S.K toys, but this was the one that I played with by far the most. I had a lot of fun with this. So this might be one of those ones that if I end up buying one, I'll definitely be picking this one up. And MCR Mazda says they had headlights. Graph. Oops. I really meant to bring up this one. Billy Boy is saying, yeah, the additional wheels don't look right. It doesn't. But But I always liked, even as a kid, when you pushed it down, they came up. It was amusing to watch. Those are, again, how your little mind worked back then. You pushed it down, they went up. It was fun, but there's something. It doesn't look right. It doesn't serve a purpose, right? Like, but again, it was a toy, and you use your imagination. So, and then we have the all new Thunderhawk hologram edition. Now, this is exactly, this is the other type of stuff that they should do. Right, this is the type of stuff that should be exclusive. Well, I guess technically it's all exclusive to begin with. This is the type of stuff that you should do for a con exclusive, a BBTS full exclusive, right? Everybody loved this part of the opening sequence, and doing something like this, yes, it only serves a purpose for a short bit, but I love this idea. It's not something that I'm going to get, but I'm also not buying these. But if I was into this, I'd be like, hell yeah. This is exactly something that I want to see. So this is the hologram edition here. Again, I really think people are going to like this. West Donna Pop saying the villain black SUV was my favorite. Was that this one? I don't remember. Mayhem was a good guy, wasn't it? Oh, no, it's Mayhem. He can't be good. I think, is this one you're talking about? I love this vehicle. Like this, I mean, they nailed it. Ooh, it looks like Dire Tech to me. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Oh no, Jackhammer. That's Jackhammer. Oh no, Mayhem was the guy's name. One of the guys' names. I don't know, dude. I know they can't get the licenses to all their names. And I don't remember them well enough, to be 100% honest. I'm not going to try and act like I remember. I don't. So, there's your mask. Savage Crucibles. These went up on BBTS. They are sold out. And so these went up at... What was the last con? They were just at a con. So these went up here. Naraka the Undying. He looks pretty cool. There is a shot that he really looks like one of the guys from Masters of the Universe, the movie, the original He-Man movie. Like this picture right here. Toylanta, thank you very much. Yes, that's where Darren didn't bother telling anyone that he was going, because I would have liked to get a few things. But hey, you know what? I'm not bitter about it at all. Not like I really wanted anything there. Is that? Oh, I can see Globulus head there. Yeah, I a little bit of paint. I think you could do that, but I would just say just wait on Globulus. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Just wait on Globulus. But yeah, I think these look good. And Savage Crucible has really been killing it. If you are into like mythology or like mythical creatures and fantasy stuff, they're really the ones. Like, in my opinion, I think they've surpassed Mythic Legions when it comes to, I want these figures to do photography and do actual posing in battle scenes, right? They've blown right by them. And I'm not talking about paint. I'm not talking about paint, and I'm not talking about the lore and the story that obviously Mythic Legions has created. But if you're like, hey, I don't care about the lore, I want to photograph pictures of figures that are killing it. This is where you want to go. And unfortunately, I feel like the Four Horsemen are never going to give into full articulation. And it's going to be something that's going to hurt them, but they will always have their core of fans. They've been doing it for so long that you're not going to have to worry about it. So here's everything that he does come with. Now, I think this figure is unique. I'm not a fan so much of the color scheme, to be 100% honest, for a fantasy line. but he looks awesome. And if you want him, you go and get him and have fun with him and do everything that you want, right? But this guy here, now these are both sold out. I'm sure they'll probably get some more in. So this is Brynar Vale. I think I'm saying that right. If I'm not, Matthew's going to put the pronunciate whatever, how to say it properly. I'm not going to read it because I don't really give a shit. You guys can read it. I like this guy. This is an awesome wolf. I love the weaponry that they give. And again, you can get this guy in some awesome poses to do great photography and different things like that. So John Battle jumping in here saying, I just got two figures in today from Savage Crucibles. You put a period there, so I'm kind of like Ron Burgundy. I stopped. And then Mr. Wonderful jumping in here, Mr. Hexastack himself. And look at this, Matthew saying pretty decent pronunciation. That's a rarity. It happens from time to time. I literally just read it. I'm like, it has to be pronounced the way that it looks, right? That's one of the things with the fantasy figures. Like, you just don't know sometimes how they're going to spell it. You know, you don't really have that issue when it comes to the G.I. Joe figures. They're pretty much cut and dry for the most part. But yeah, this one, if you said, hey, you're going to get one or the other, I would definitely go with this guy. Now, I'm not a wolf guy. I'm not one of those guys like, hey, you know what? I can read. It's just not very good, right? I've said that before. I don't use AI. I hate fucking AI. But yeah, I like these. Like, they are fun. They're fun figures. They give you a great bang for your buck. That is the one thing that I can say. The bang for your buck is awesome. Look at that face sculpt there. So yeah, if you haven't got any of these Savage Crucibles or made by Harbinger Studios, I think you're going to enjoy them for sure. All right. And here's everything that you're going to get. Allison says, this sort of looks like Carl number 4's mom before she had her coffee and waxed her lips in the morning. And yeah, 3-star says, I haven't opened him yet. I haven't either, Darren, because you didn't tell me you were going, where I could have, sent you money and said, hey, I want for this money that I'm giving you for you to pick up these specific characters, these figures, because there's actually a whole bunch at Toylanta, but it's okay. I'm not bitter. Don't worry about it. Bees Battleground saying, just make sure you pronounce Zartan as Zartan and not Zartan, or people will cry. So you spelled it right every time. I think it's Zertan, right? Zartan. You're the only person that mispronounces it. You're truly the only person that has mispronounced Zartan. But you know what? We wouldn't want it any different. Because let's be honest, if we're not making fun of each other, are we even fucking friends? Although there's some people that make fun of people and we're not friends with them. We think they're assholes. I can speak for that. Yes, Zartan, that's it. Yeah, no, I think it's Zartan. I think it's Zartan is how Bees Battleground explains it. Zartan isn't correct for G.I. Joe character. Right now, Bees Battleground is fuming at me. And thinking, this is why we have a rivalry. I sometimes do wonder how many people think there's certain YouTubers that I don't like because I rag on them, when in actuality, that's us being friends. And then there are some YouTubers I don't like. Anyway, Marvel Legends. I threw Tron in here because This is made by the Marvel Legends team. All right. So yes, I know Tron is not part of Marvel Legends, but the Marvel Legends team, just like the Indiana Jones figures, were made by the Star Wars team. Now, we got a hefty price here. These are expensive, and people about lost their shit. And I put $100. Was this 120? I think I might have put the wrong price, but I thought I was looking at the price when I put it out there. So you are going to get the bike and the figure. Now, I do think these look nice. I think people would love these. But when you're looking at such a hefty price, and this is a niche movie, to say the least. Can we all agree with that? And I'm sorry. Gotta say hi to Ronnie Trickshot. Says, I don't like anyone. That's not true, Ronnie. You actually gave me your shirt at Joe Fest, and you said, hey, put some big arms on this. And I said, I'm going to do this for you, Ronnie. I'm going to make sure that your shirt finally has some big arms. Now I'm going, like, I was never a fan of the Tron movie. I just never got into it, now that I disliked it. But the original Tron, I love Tron Legacy. I was so excited and hoping that they were going to do a sequel to it, which I haven't seen the sequel, and everyone tells me don't even bother. I'm not one of those people that only like, oh, well, if someone told me not to see it, I'm not going to go see it. But I have no urge to want to see Jared Leto. That movie looks like it has no soul whatsoever. I love Tron Legacy, and so many other people say the same thing. So it's cool to see figures, but I think we all knew they were going to be overpriced when we saw the price of that Kickstarter, right? The Haslab that they were trying to do that completely flopped. This is better to not do it, but they have the light cycle, I believe is what it's called. But for the price point, it is, it's hefty for people. Now it doesn't ship, I believe, till December. So you might want to just pre-order it and see, hey, you know what? Maybe by that time it's changed. Maybe it sells out. And you know that, hey, you know what? These are going to be worth a little bit more. But the thing that we're looking at is something different. Now, I got to say, the photography is awesome, but it also kind of takes away from, like, how does this really come off looking? Right? And here he, like, again, I'm not going to ever be able to get this pose considering he's literally in the air. But yeah, this is, again, I like this. Mamu Nestor Matthew says they need to give up on Tron. It's not a big seller. Let Nacelle have it. I have a feeling that, again, I think we all can agree Disney kind of has has Hasbro by the balls with some stuff. Now, again, this Pulse exclusive makes sense, right? But maybe going down a little bit in price as a bike. Now, this is everything that you're going to get with it. You get the figure, the bike. I think it has some sort of effect, maybe. Everything that it does come with, right? So it is cool. Again, you're going to get everything you need. And then we're going to get the 4-figure pack, which is $140. Now, this, to me, it's crazy that they went $140. This should have been $100. And again, I understand licensing fee. But again, at $100, I think you're going to have people buying it. And at $100, you might be able to justify the light cycle with Finn on it for $100. But now people are looking at $240, to get this. Yeah, I don't know if people are going to get this. But you basically get everyone you need to create. But maybe I want extra ones of these. I want, a couple army builders. And I think they look pretty good. this is not the greatest face of Olivia, but someone that hot, it's hard to make sure she's that perfect. Yeah, you sell a lot more, 150 at most with the bike. Yeah, like again, $100 for these four, which makes sense, right? It's a 4-pack. If Marvel Legends figures are $28 each, again, when you buy multiple, there's less packaging, right? There are less accessories in here. You're supposed to get a discount. Again, that's why people shop at Costco and Sam Clubs, right? Or just buy in bulk in general. So I do like the way these look. And if they were cheaper, it's something I probably would have ordered. It's something that you have one shelf. It goes back to the Ghostbusters, right? Like that Ghostbusters and the car, you can get everything. And then you have to add a couple figures and you just have a Ghostbusters shelf. Like this is the same thing, but this price point is kind of killer. Now, I did see somewhere that I believe it was Dreadnought Ryan who made a comment somewhere and said, the price point on these is high because these are going to be a Disney World, Disneyland exclusive that are sitting on their shelves. And I can tell you that I know 3 years ago when I was at Disney World, I was looking and they had Tron figures there and they were super expensive. Now, if I'm at Disney World and I'm going through the Tron area or whatever, the Tron store, and I see these, I might want to pick one up. I'm not going to lie. That's going to be one of those impulse buys. You're on vacation. These are cool figures. Boom, you're going to buy them. People are going to get off the roller coaster. Kids, oh my God, I love this. Boom, there you are. But it doesn't look good when it's on Hasbro Pulse. It also, again, doesn't look good at Disney World, but everyone expects things to be more expensive there. But if they're that much at Disney World or Disneyland, if this is true, and I have no reason not to believe Dreadnought Ryan, he is pretty spot on about stuff, then I can see the reason why it's at this price. War Chest says, I can't do it. Tron's ass looks like a robot with red eyes. Yeah, and then we have Curious jumping in here. I don't know if I said that right. But yeah, so I'm going to wait for the sale. This is where I don't know if you're going to get a sale. And the reason why I say that is these are pre-order and they're not coming up. So there's only going to be so many made. Now, again, it depends on how many that they get. But if they sell out before, and this is where, and this is what I'm going to say, if you really like it, this is where you buy them. They're not supposed to be available till I think December is what it says. If you see that they're sold out, you hold on to them because they might shoot up in price. But if they don't, and you see that, hey, you know what, these aren't selling out, you cancel your order and then you play your clearance chicken. That's the way to do it. I'm just saying. Yeah, War Chest, a member for 25 months, if you can believe that we've had him that long.
Fucking Phil Collins.
All right. Baldy Locks here says, I guess they didn't learn from the Tron Haslab 3.75. Whatever that was, Tron is the wrong property to do this with. Again, I think that this is one of those things that they were contractually obligated. That I wouldn't be surprised if within that Marvel and Lucasfilm, deal, that they may also have other things like, hey, we're going to have other properties that we are going to put underneath that. Indiana Jones. We're asking in this contract that you have to create so many figures because that's what they want, right? They want to create another property. They want something to be like this, to stick out where, hey, later on down the road, they have 8 movies and they can create the properties and TV shows. So I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I think that's the reason why. It's Jay Gonzo jumping in saying, what's up, gents? Great to have you here. All right. Either way, I like the way these look. They're not the greatest figures, but they're also not bad figures at all. And they serve a purpose. but not for $140. And I think this is where it's just killing people. But if this has to do with, hey, you know what? We need somebody to create figures for our, our Disney properties, Disneyland, Disney World. Again, kids are on that, on that roller coaster. They're getting off. They're walking through it. They're watching that bike go through. Anyone that's been to Disney World, I'm assuming Disneyland's the same way. That bike looks super cool as it's going by, right? Kids are seeing that. Kids are getting off. They don't know what this is. You get dads that are like, oh, well, we have to watch Tron, and they watch Tron and like, oh my god, this is awful. Then they watch Tron Legacy and like, this is so cool. And then dad's like, we need to watch Tron. And then they watch Tron and like, Dad, how did you watch this shit? And you're like, you know what? Get the hell out of here. That's how it goes. 3-star says maybe you'll get lucky and you can buy them early in July. Do you don't think I've already thought about that? I'm not joking. Like if I'm at Disney World I'm going to be there end of June, early July. If I see these and they're that price, I will probably pick them up. I was very close to picking up the ones. I want to say Diamond Select made them, and they were mighty expensive. But again, when you are at a place like that, you spend stupid money on stupid stuff. Oh, wait a minute. I have about $700 worth of Big Bad Workshop stuff that's about to hit. So I spend stupid money on stupid stuff, even when I'm not at Disney. Anyway, there we go. So there are the figures. Again, a few accessories, but I'm looking at this and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those accessories, all the exact same thing, but all have multiple heads, multiple hands, and a couple other things. So, whew, all right. So tomorrow we have a Marvel Legends live stream, and this I saw go as a leak. These are supposed to go on pre-order on April 15th. So it looks like Wolverine, likely Ultimate Classic Psylocke, Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, U.S. Agent, Marina, Smallwood, Punisher, Hawkeye, likely Dark Avengers. Pre-order 4/15, 1 p.m. So this is going to be something I really nitpick the Marvel Legends. Okay, that's a total fucking lie. I'm all in on the 97, and I nitpick the Marvel Legends, but when I say nitpick, I buy a lot of the stupid shit. I'll be interested to see what's here. I don't have a U.S. agent. I'd like to have a U.S. agent, one that's good, one that fits what I want. Again, I don't need another Psylocke. I have the Psylocke that I want. I'm not into Ghost Rider, but there's something about Ghost Rider I really like. And I have 2 Ghost Riders, and I kind of want more for some reason. So these should go up. Again, I'm interested. I know a lot of other people are. Again, people are trying to tell me that G.I. Joe Classified is bigger than Marvel Legends. It's so not even close. But yeah, there we go. What just says I'm going to pick up the Light Cycle. So USA Duke has a cool bike. He's going to look so good on that bike. All right. If I have to pick that up now to do what War Chest said, War Chest, you have to pay me half the money for the bike, because now you put that idea in my mind, and I should never have had that idea. But now I want to do that. And Sketcher jumping in here saying ICT Vinny. Why don't you just change name back to ICT Vinny? I hope they give us armored Outback Psylocke instead of what is shown in the picture. And again, these are guesses, but let's be honest. Just like the G.I. Joe Classified team, just like the Transformer team, probably the Star Wars. No, Star Wars doesn't give anything away. Marvel Legends, they have their own people that they leak stuff to. So if all of this is correct, I totally wouldn't be shocked. If some of it's wrong, I also wouldn't be that shocked. So, um, Dominic Johnson says, didn't Disney already own Tron? Yes. Yes. No, they've owned Tron for forever. Yes, they already own Tron, but I'm not really sure what you're asking. Because they really wanted Tron Legacy to be something. They built a whole ride around it. And there's nothing that Disney likes less than having a property, creating it, and then creating a ride, an event in their parks around it, and it being a flop. Don't put Jared Leto in it if you don't want to be. I can't believe I'm saying that when I really want to see Master of the Universe. God, if Jared Leto ruins fucking Motu, I'm going to be fucking like that guy should never act again if he ruins fucking being Skeletor. Okay. Anyway, look for these. I'll be watching this tomorrow. I will have links to these figures on Wednesday. So if you are interested, you'll see them up on Entertainment Earth and Amazon. Those are the links that I'll send out there. Krusty O'Crow quickly saying, I love the original Alan Davis Psylocke. This was here in the Masquerade Beneath the Streets days. That's a keeper. I don't know if I'm saying that right. All right, so this is like a shark. I have no idea what this is. This is from Marvel Legends. This was a hint at the live stream that's coming. So I have no idea what this is. If you look at me, it looks like it. Let's say if we were on the Circle of Jerks, we would say this is a little bit of glowing blue jizz. So Jeff the Land Shark. Now, I keep hearing people say Jeff the Land Shark. Is that a real thing? Okay, so its name is okay. So I guess it's. I have no idea. I have no idea. So Marvel Rivals, that's a video game. Well, that's what everyone is saying this is. A Punisher Marvel Rivals. Now, I did quickly, because Tony told me Marvel Rivals was a video game. I quickly went and, Google searched it. And I will say this, it does not look like the proportions and the aesthetics are of like normal Marvel Legends, that they're video game or whatever. So I'll be interested to see this. Now, I don't want misproportioned Punishers or Thors. And again, for people that want it, awesome. I'm not. And again, this is something we're going to talk about soon when we get to the topic, right? About what Joes you want. Like, do you only want the 82 through 94? And are you little whiny bitches because they don't give? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll wait till the topic comes up. So like if these are like misproportioned figures because that's how they are in the video game, then you know what? Good for everyone that's getting them. It's probably something that I won't be interested in. But as of right now, I'm definitely interested in seeing, what they're going to be showing off. And Krusty O'Crow says, this looks like Frank Castle, but like Gears of War. Yeah, and Tony seems to know exactly what it is. So anyway, we'll find all this out tomorrow. All right, so this did go up for sale. And this is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. This is the Punisher Hulkbuster armor from the Thunderbolts, $69.99. I had no interest in this until I saw it. I love the blast effects. You basically, you're giving us a guy. It can be War Machine. It's Punisher, obviously, because it has the big Punisher logo on it. It's a big hulking figure, as it is like a Hulkbuster type suit. They did show that this Punisher head does fit on the Punisher figures and looks right on them. So you want to beat up Punisher, like, God, now you're like, am I going to buy this only for the head sculpt? No, it has these awesome ass blast effects. So I'm like super, super excited. This is not something when they first showed it off, I didn't care. Then I saw it and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to order it because I have issues. I'm going to order it because I have fucking issues. But I like it. I I've said before, like on Transformers, I always loved the shoulder cannons, and I never had any Transformers with them. So when I see shoulder cannons, it's like a little soft spot in my heart. I want one. Moondoggy jumping in here saying, "Hey everyone, jumping in here for a bit." I don't feel like I've ever seen Moondoggy here, and if I have, I apologize, but I'm not going to ever apologize for.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Great to have you over here. And then we have Just Jeff jumping in here saying, "Evening, this thing is badass." Again, I thought it looked cool when they first showed it off. Then it goes out for pre-order. You go through the pictures. And I just really started liking it. And I think this picture here, like all these blast effects, like this is awesome. Like, I just love seeing the blast effects. And again, I love the blast effects on the rockets that aren't just straight off, right? You can see the smoke, you can see the trail. Like, to me, that is awesome. That's one of the things I absolutely love about the M.A.S.K Rumbler, like their blast effects, which I saw. Okay, I forgot to say this. If anyone has the M.A.S.K Rumbler, someone pointed out that the blast effect that goes into the rocket one, actually fits Zap's bazooka. So I gotta go play with that. I totally forgot to do that today, but now I want to go do it. And I got a few people with different bazookas with blast effects. So I'm gonna do a picture with all of that. Anyway, this is awesome. So I did order it. Look at that big Gatling gun. Oh god. So there you go. Everything that you're gonna get, different blast effects, the different head sculpts, which I really do like. Yeah, I got issues. I totally got issues. And look, what a perfect time for Punisher Bill to jump in and say, "Hey Lawrence, I'm back, aka Punisher Bill. I dig this figure." Yeah, this looks really good. So I'm excited for it. And look at this guy, Sarge and Red, saying, "What's up, fella?" Great to see you, John, or D. This is probably John. D has her own account. I have not been in the store in quite some time, as I just haven't. So I'm glad to see they have been killing it. Like, I know I think I put some stuff out. I thought I put stuff on my story. If you're not following Sergeant Reds, I'm just gonna say it, the best toy store there is. I absolutely love it. Kind people until you get to know them, and then John, John talks to you like he's, like you talk to your buddies. D, on the other hand, she's a sweetheart. Anyway, if you aren't following Sergeant Rez on Instagram, you need to do it. And just, hey, I'm swell. Yes. You are. So anyway, here's everything. Look at this: minigun, arm cannons, all these blast and smoke effects. Yes, but this is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. And here's the back of it: the Punisher Hulkbuster armor. I know someone's gonna say it's not exactly the way it's supposed to look. Oh well, fucking deal with it, right? Not everything is what you want. So there you go. If you want it, you can get it. Jada Toys dropped this here. So if you want the Player 2 Blanca, this is a BBTS exclusive. The pre-order went live today. I was actually thinking that they were going to have them in stock only because they recently got the last two Jada figures. So I thought maybe that they were actually going to go up live, but they did not. So if you are like, hey, I need a blue Blanca, then you can get this. If you need the Player 2, I've kind of backed away from the Jada Street Fighter figures. I just don't. I don't know if I need more. I think I've completed my collection, but I like the blue. Like I said, I think the blue looks really, really good. There is no doubt about that. But of all the characters when it comes to Street Fighter, with different uniforms and different outfits, Blanca's fucking green, man. Like, and yes, now maybe if this was more of a blue with maize, like then you may get me into buying it, right? You might get me into buying it. So, but yeah, we will see for sure. But hey, if you want it, and maybe you're one of those people like, no, dude, I love Blue Blanca, then you get Blue Blanca, and you love Blue Blanca, and you sleep with Blue Blanca, and you pet him, and you treat him like family, or don't get him, or don't get him. It's up to you. All right, so there you go. That is Blue Blanca BBTS exclusive. 4 Horsemen. This is also a BBTS exclusive, as this is the Unwavering Soldier, $59.99. I wasn't gonna buy this, and then someone pointed out that it goes with Severos, who I have, which then I'm like, fuck. Like I said, I'm really backing away from the Mythic Legions. I decided I'd much rather get into, obviously, the Operation Monster Force and all the Big Bag Workshop stuff, and obviously Marvel Legends. But I have the Severos, which I'm like looking for him. I don't know where the hell he's at. Oh, he's over there. And this is the same color scheme. So they got me on pre-order, but I can always get rid of it. I've actually dumped a few things at BBTS as of recently, because as much as I really like the Boss Fight Studios fantasy figures, the price point is really just like, I don't know if I can do it. So, but anyway, Tristan T says, wait, this is a Pulse exclusive, but it's up for pre-order over here. Damn Hasbro, so they only don't give us G.I. Joe Pulse exclusives. Yeah, I wonder if that is an agreement with the license, right? I wonder if that's an issue with the license. Like they have an agreement, they have to have that. Because it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? And also, I don't know why you wouldn't want to have it up your own property, but they're a little confusing when it comes to that shit now, aren't they? Anyway, there you go. I do like the way this guy looks. Again, it's their articulation that kills me. I can deal with the price point. Their paint, their soft goods, their sculpt is just dead on. But the fact that they refuse to give it real articulation in 2026 is what kills me. And when I look at Savage Crucibles and I'm like, for $10 less, I can get this type of stuff, I'm backing away from it. But this one, I guess I have Severos. And again, there's always a chance that I may cancel this, as I cancel a bunch of shit. So here he is with the Severos. I think I'm saying his name right. Which probably means there'll be more figures of this color scheme and this clan to come. And I guess I can deal with one. Anyway, there you go. And then on to G.I. Joe. There wasn't very much G.I. Joe news. These Cobra Ramp Rats did go up for pre-order last week, $59.99. I was shocked at the price. This is a two figure pack, which a two figure pack now are $60, and yet they give you this big accessory. I thought for sure they would price this at about $20, and you'd be looking at an $80 price point. So when I see $60, I am very impressed that they were giving you something like this. Now I will reiterate, we are clearly going to get a G.I. Joe version, and that should have been the first one to begin with, right? Considering the Dragonfly technically can carry this easier than the Rattler, although the Rattler is a VTOL, so it can take off. But yeah, but this is one of those really interesting ones that, like I said, 2-figure pack. They serve their purpose. They are ground crew. It has not sold out, but I don't think that means that it is, that it's a flop. Because as we know, a lot of this G.I. Joe stuff won't sell out until it's about to ship, and then that's it. These Pulse exclusives normally will go up in price. Some of them, yeah, they sit there in the warehouse. And let's see, West Donapop says it should say Ross on the crate. I guess it could. I think it should say APWT and have my logo on it. That's what I think would be way cooler. But again, if you want to create a grounds crew, now I don't know. Again, interesting thing to give him the saw with the saw, considering I don't know how that fits into a grounds crew having a mini chainsaw, but they did. I can't imagine my figure ever really having that other than in the reviews when I do them. So, again, I was just shocked that this was a $60 price point. I was definitely expecting at least $80, considering the box does connect to the portal potties, the Cobra fortification, modular fortification set. So just be well aware they are going to make all kinds of stuff to create to that. So next time you see anything go up that's some sort of modification, modular fortification, you may want to pick it up because those things have now shot up on eBay. People lose their minds, but hey, everyone had the chance to buy them and no one wanted them. All right. And then Lenny dropped these pics of the Snowcat and the Arctic Hiss. And good Lord, the Snowcat is big. And this is where guys like Darren lose their mind and say it didn't need to be this big. And it bothers me because once again, when they go, they're just upscaling this to make it a Haslab. Yes. Yeah. Yes. You figured out business 101. And again, I'm just picking on Darren because he's a friend of mine. But a lot of people have said this. And even though they showed them side by side, holy crap. Like, I look at this picture, and when Lenny first posted it on Instagram, I looked at it and was like, is that the 3.75 Arctic Hiss? No. Now, if you have a Hiss, you know how big it is. It makes it look tiny. Like this thing is, it's a beast. Like this is a beast. So again, this was the Haslab. So anyone tuning in going, well, how will I be able to get it? You're not. You have to go on the aftermarket and get this. Now, will there be a repaint of this? There sure will be. Whether if they lead in the Tiger Force. Now, understand, they want to go Tiger Force. They already have the Rattler they can do. They have the Dragonfly, and now they have the Snowcat. I don't want Tiger Force. I'm just going to be 100% honest. I do not want Tiger Force. I hope Josh Gun Bunny isn't watching because he's probably losing his shit, frantically typing at me, going, "You shut your mouth. You shut your whore mouth, punk." Because he loves Tiger Force and Python Patrol, and that's cool, right? That's cool. But this is awesome. Like, I can't wait. This thing better come before next winter, because I need to take pictures with this in the snow. And even though I really don't want it, give me the Arctic Hiss at the same time. I will figure out a way. I always do to have the money for this stuff. It's part of the channel, right? It's for the channel. Dominic Johnson says that's a huge difference. So is the original Hasbro Hiss Haslab that much smaller than the Snowcat? I got the Hiss, but not the Snowcat. No, that it uses the same architecture as the Haslab Hiss. So you are really seeing how big that thing is. All right. So Tatsi, yeah, I wouldn't mind a smaller Snowcat for 50. Again, and Darren here once again, $100 more. Like, yeah, you guys all want something cheaper. We get it, but again, this is a company that's about making money, right? And I guarantee you, if you went smaller, you guys would bitch that it's too small. I put the Real American Hero Hiss next to the Snowcat, and the Snowcat is bigger, but they also made this into a troop builder. Now, yes, they gave it electronics, they gave it lights, they're giving it a USB-C port so it can be on all the time, right? It can be on all the time, which was a huge miss with the first 3 Haslabs, classified Haslabs. But yeah, like, and maybe it was just the angle of that picture. I don't know. But again, this is also going to be a troop carrier. So I'm assuming that they will do more stuff for it. Or when they do the repaints, they really leaned into that troop carrier. Now, the one thing that I will say that they have failed on is that they should have put 2 like 50 cals on the side of the rocket launchers. Like, that was always my complaint as a kid. Like, once you're out of missiles, you're done. Why doesn't this thing have guns? And I even messaged Lenny. I'm like, you should put some like 50 cals. You have them made. Just put 50 cals on the side. All you need are little notches. They'll slide right in. But yeah, that was it. So, but Lenny dropped this, and people still bitch about it. People are going to complain no matter what it is. So, no matter what happens, now people are going to complain. They're going to bitch, and that's exactly what the topic is about. 3-star says we should have gotten a snow cone machine with this thing, like that old Snoopy one we all had. As long as they can make the Snoopy snow cone snowmaker work. Yes. Now, again, for the people that are complaining about the price here of $325, remember, you're getting 3 figures and a bivouac. And the bivouac itself is probably going to be in the $40 price range. So, you lop that off, and what are we sitting in? Right? You're sitting at just over 200 bones. Lights, electronics, working treads, missiles, all the accessories, the little trinkets that come with it. Yeah. So, Matthew says the original Hiss is way smaller than the original Snowcat. It's not way smaller, but it is smaller. And again, I have pictures out there. Like, I have the pictures, and you know that. Like, yeah. And I literally took pictures when people started losing their minds over the Snowcat being a mid-sized vehicle. Understand, it's a mid-sized vehicle because the large vehicles were the Tomahawk, the Sky Striker, the Night Raven. Like, yeah, like, there's much bigger vehicles. But their mid-range vehicles are pretty big vehicles in the Real American Hero line. So, yeah, this is one of those things where, again, no matter what they did, people were going to bitch about it. Now, the only thing that I would bitch about this is how dirty the fucking snow was. like, this is one of those things where you're like, fuck, don't take the Snowcat out there. That snow is going to melt and the treads are going to get ruined. Just take the Vamp out there, all right? It's got to be like 70 degrees. That shit's all melted. But the other thing that people talk, that I've talked about numerous times, and I said, and Lenny talked about it with the Vamp. We thought the Vamp was going to be smaller, like could be smaller. The problem is that the G.I. Joe Classified, their shoulders are so wide that you can't put the figures in. So to make this thing proper size to fit 2 figures inside of it, and remember, this thing had big wheel wells. The figures didn't sit above the wheels. It had to be wide like this. This is going to take up a lot of space, and obviously it had to be pretty long. I think that if you realistically sat down with them and they talked it to you, you'd be like, yep, you could not have made it any smaller and make it look proper. But anyway, that's what we saw. Here is it all stickered up. I do not like stickers. I have reiterated that. I will say it again. I want stuff tampered on. I'm glad they give you stickers so you can do what you want, but make sure the specific things that are supposed to be tampered on are tampered where they're supposed to be. All right. And here are the sticker packs that you're kind of getting. You're getting the Window Viper. You're having a Yeti. I don't know where Red Rocket comes from. Can someone fill me in on that? Snow Bunny here. I know people are already losing their minds. That means we're going to get a Snow Bunny Baroness. I wouldn't say that. And then here we have the grocery list, along with the ice and stuff like that with the cup holder. So I like this. I like the fact that they're willing to put fun in when everyone else wants to be curmudgeons and bitch and whine and cry because they don't get exactly what they want. And that is exactly what our topic is about to be about. But before we do, I need to take a quick breather. I need to just sit back and relax. So right now, word from, there's no sponsors. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have anything.
And now back to Cobra News Now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have received word that our field correspondent, Scrap Iron, is on scene at Mars Industries, and he has interviewed a few eyewitnesses and forwarded those statements over to us as he tries to get closer for a better vantage point on the fire. So let's take a listen to these eyewitness statements and see if we can discover what has happened here tonight.
All right, so I'm out here just ripping this mini ramp that's made by Mars Industries. Don't ask, I don't understand why they sponsored it. But anyway, I hear this huge explosion, and I hear all these people yelling and screaming that this thing's on fire, and they tell me to call 911, so I call 911. We got the ESU police here, and we got the firefighters, and wait a minute, don't you work for Mars Industry and the Iron Grenadiers too?
Oh yeah, that's a wicked fire, eh? Good bonfire for burning the moose on. Kind of reminds me, it reminds me of the one that we did at Justin Bieber every year at Stratford Festival. Just as much smoke, big flame. We do that to keep Sasquatch away. What'd you do yours for, eh?
Yeah, how you doing? I was walking down the street, hanging out, minding my own business. About to sit down on the park bench here and just enjoy my meal here. I got a nice little delicious lunch made by my wife, my lovely wife. She's a great cook. Sometimes not the best, but listen. We all suffice, right? And I'm sitting here on the bench about to open up my lunch box after a long day of working with construction workers. If you haven't noticed, I got this hard hat on, right? And I'm sitting here chilling. And next thing you know, I smell burning. And I go, what is that? And then the explosion, the loud, boom! I'm like, oh, what the hell was that? What's going on? You sound like Aaron Judge cracked a home run. I'm freaking out. I look up, and Mars Industries is on fire. And I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? The building just blew up. It's on fire now. And no one can have any answers. Nobody has any answers. Next thing you know, the fire shows up, the cops show up, nobody knows what's going on, but damn things for sure, that building blew up. Now listen, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but I'll tell you this. The owner of that building, he wears a metal helmet. Who's wearing a metal helmet? Just to do business. Something don't smell right, you understand what I'm saying? That building, that was an inside job. You can quote me on that. Thank you for having me on the news. I've never been on the news before. This is fantastic. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And before we go, I want to shout out some people. My man Shane, my man Woody, my man Mike. I appreciate you all. Take it easy, guys. I appreciate you. I'm on the freaking news right now. This is fantastic.
Well, that was certainly something. So let's see if we can check back in with Scrap Iron and see if he's been able to locate Destro or the Baroness and find out the cause of this fire. Over to you, Scrap Iron. Scrap Iron. Scrap, are you there? Looks like we might be having some technical difficulties and oh my God. Oh, I'm going to have to go over there now.
All right. All right, so we got Hustles jumping in here saying hello, or Snow Bunny, hello, nurse. And then I got to see Tidarium Hanger jumping in here saying Red Rocket was from an episode of Roblox Family, and Cobra armed the missiles on top of those restaurants. I do remember that we actually talked about, a few people had mentioned that. Also, can you? I don't know if you're on Instagram or not. If you're on Instagram, message me, please, because I want to talk to you about having you on Thursday with a friend. I know this is how you're supposed to conduct business on your live stream. Like, hey, please message me. If you're not on Instagram, and I don't think we're friends on Facebook, punkbtoys@gmail.com. If you are interested, I'd love to have you on Thursday with a friend. Like I said, I used to watch your stuff all the time. And I used to always go, God, I'm so glad I'm not into Transformers because there's so many third-party things. So, Tidarium Hanger, if you are still listening, please message me. Beesback, don't do it. He's going to send nudes. Are you saying I'm going to send nudes or Tidarium Hanger is going to send nudes? Maybe we'll send both nudes. Who knows? And Beast Battleground only knows because he wanted to exchange nudes. It was weird. It was a weird conversation between Bobby and I, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, I saw Darren here say, where was it? I saw Darren say something about, am I going to feel attacked in this next segment? I don't think so. I don't think you are one of the people doing it. That I have complaints about. I have complaints all the time. I have more bitches than complaints. Pop Blender jumping in here saying he's going to send nudes of his hanger. Pop, great to have you here. Pop, give me message me. I won't call you today. Message me because I want to talk to you about something. Okay. Okay. So here we go. G.I. Joe recently did their live stream and they showed off stuff, right? And they hinted at stuff. And like clockwork, you have the fucking man-childs that lose their shit. And my question is, do you guys only want classifieds made from the 82 through 94 A Real American Hero line? I saw somebody make a comment and said, they're giving me all this shit that I don't want and they won't even give me a flash. Like, fuck you. Like, I hope they never give us a fucking flash. I hope they fucking give that goddamn fucking laser rifle on every fucking figure and never give anyone a fucking flash. So you little fucking bitches, because you're no longer complainers. You're fucking little fucking pussy bitches that think like, hey, G.I. Joe should only make what I want them to make. There is this crazy thing. You don't have to buy anything you don't want. And to all the people that will sit there and say, the classified team doesn't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. The reason why they didn't give you the OG 13 right away, because they know some people would leave. But they want you to stick around. They want you to be like, oh shit, dude, that's a pretty cool figure, right? Another thing is, the only reason why the OG 13 were the original 13 figures is because some figures had to be the fucking original figures. Like, they were never coming in to say, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make step by step every single figure in the exact line, in the exact order that A Real American Hero was made. But I feel like that's all some of you want. I see people, when it came to Don Moreno, they made Snake Eyes a girl. No, they didn't make Snake Eyes a girl. My issue, because you're at this computer to fucking bitch. And again, they don't bitch in one Facebook group. They go to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fucking Facebook groups to bitch about the exact same thing. They literally just do cut and paste. Boom, 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 boom. And they're in every single Facebook group. It is annoying as shit. Emily didn't make them do a female Snake Eyes. And then you're on this thing called the computer or your phone. You have this thing called Google. All right. I think that's what Baldy calls it. Google. All right. You can Google Don Moreno Snake Eyes. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to populate, and you're going to go, oh, hey, look, there's a story. Well before the classified team ever took over. Right? They give you a new character, and people lose their mind. Why would they do this? It's not what I want. Okay, then don't buy it. I don't have my Flash and my Grand Slam. Do you really think they're not going to do it? Lenny has literally said, hey, we're going to get them all. But the moment they show something that you don't want, you're off to complain about it and bitch about it on every fucking Facebook group. Because you need the G.I. Joe team to know, hey, you didn't make what I wanted. And I am the only person in the whole G.I. Joe community that matters. So I want you to give me this. And don't go ahead and give me something that was an IDW. I didn't read that. Awesome. You hear the people bitch about the police officers and the firefighters. When were they in G.I. Joe? You know that before 1982, G.I. Joe existed, right? I know some people think that in 82 it started. And you know what these guys will say? Yeah, but I was only into it from 82 into 88. Oh, well, fuck, dude. Why don't you message Lenny and say, hey, dude, listen, I was only in G.I. Joe from 82 to 88. So how about you only make those characters for me? Don't worry about the mass amounts of other people that might like it. Or the other characters throughout the lore that were created. It's like the people that looking, they're like, I didn't read the comic, so why would I want this character? Well, you know what? I thought the fucking cartoon was shit. I think Globulus and all of Cobra Law is fucking dumb. But I didn't say, hey, don't make it. A matter of fact, I think they made pretty good fucking figures. That's coming from a guy who thinks Cobra Law is stupid. I mean, Cobra Law is stupid, right? I have no real reason for a Cold Slither, though they made some amazing fucking figures and they serve a purpose. They tell a story. I mean, it's okay if you're like, hey, listen, I was into G.I. Joe from 82 to 88, and those are really the only characters that I'm interested in adding. That's awesome. But it's cool. Like, you don't have to buy them all. You may say, well, they put numbers on the boxes. Throw the fucking boxes away, and then you don't have to look at the numbers. You'll never even know. Like, it's that simple. Like, oh, shit, dude. They put numbers on the box. I got to buy them all. No, you don't. Just throw the fucking boxes away. You clearly don't care about the fucking... So don't even fucking bother. We got 610 Joe Daddy jumping to say, couldn't agree more, Punk, preach. Again, and it's not... It is... There are so many people that are doing this now. That's the biggest fucking problem. And again, you don't have to have it. All right. Commander Wolf is jumping in here saying, I'm glad they're making some figures I don't want to save. I don't want, so it saves me money and others can get the ones. What a fucking concept. Imagine being happy for other people that can get something that they want that you might not want. It is a crazy concept. Dark Aeons, right? Aeons. I think I'm saying it right. It's that we are getting so old that we might not get certain figs before we die. That's a whole nother issue. All right. If someone says, listen, I'm on my deathbed, and they show themselves on their fucking deathbed and they're like, I need Flash and Grand Slam, I might go, okay, you know what? This person has a fucking legit fucking gripe. All right. He wants to be buried with classified of the OG 13. I get that. I definitely do. But once again, they're giving you characters that you don't need. Now, this was always what I said. When people complain about there's too many Snake Eyes, they keep making another Snake Eye. Oh, another Snake. Like, are they giving us new characters? Are they giving us new bucks? Then I don't care. Give me one Snake Eyes in every fucking wave. I don't care if you're giving me two brand new characters that you haven't created yet, or new versions of characters, right? those repaints, which G.I. Joe has done forever. You know who else has done it? Masters of the Universe. You know who else does it? Star Wars with Stormtroopers. Oh, look. I say, oh, look, I don't have them here. I just bought a Stormtrooper, right? They constantly make more Stormtroopers, Biker Scouts. How many Wolverines do they make? How many times do they repaint them? Because they're in different books that way, different iterations. But they're giving us new characters, right? As long as they're giving us new characters, then I feel no one should have too many gripes of them giving us another Snake Eyes, right? It's there, right? It's there. Don't want it? Don't buy it. It's that simple. But with the money that guys like myself and others are giving them when we buy it, they're taking some of that money and they're creating new characters that we don't have. And to me, that is where every toy company and every line needs to be. Repaints have always been part of it. Now, again, I don't want a Snake Eyes in every wave, okay? That was an over-exaggeration before someone goes and clips and says, Punk says he wants a fucking Snake Eyes in every fucking way. Shut the fuck up. I don't have time for you guys. But it's one of those things for sure. You know, like they are constantly giving us new figures that we didn't have. Now they're starting to create new. I want more new characters. And Rugged Duke, from everything that I've heard, Rugged Duke is Energon Duke. So you want to go ahead and you want to look at things. And if they're doing Energon Duke, from my understanding, I don't read the Energon universe, but I have seen Nemesis Immortal looks like the one from the Energon universe. I have seen pictures of the Hiss, and it has the going windows, the doors, right? That's in the Energon universe. I was told today that the snake armor is from the Energon. They're leaning into the Energon universe. My biggest issue, my biggest gripe with the G.I. Joe team and Hasbro in general was that they don't tell you. It's so easy to say, hey, guess what, guys? I want you to know we're going to be doing Energon stuff. We are working with them. So, yes, there is not only the Real American Hero stuff that we're going to grab from, and now some of the Sunbow stuff, but we're going to be grabbing from the Energon. So, you might want to start picking up that book because remember, they own all the properties. When people see Yo Joe June and they go, oh my God, they talked about the comic books. Well, it's their property. If they don't talk about it, who is going to? It's like when I say, hey, if I don't push, my crates and I don't push my merch, who the fuck's going to push it, right? It's my property, right? So unlike when it comes to Marvel and Star Wars, where they have their toys and that's what they're going to push, and it's up to Marvel and Disney and Lucasfilm to push that stuff, then that's what you get, right? But anyway, Tidarium says we cannot complete the lame 10. I'm sorry, we cannot complete the same 10 figures, but the other 3 Snake Eyes, Scarlet, Cobra Commander were made early in the line. Okay, the same 10 figures, but the other 3 Snake Eyes, Scarlet, CC were. Yeah, but they've given everyone the original line. I think I'm confused on what you're saying. But yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Dominic Johnson says the classified team has made a lot of chicken salad out of chicken shit characters. Oh, fuck yeah. Like Raptor or Crystal Ball. The new characters that look cool, even if you don't want them. Amazing. That's exactly it, right? If you don't want them, you don't have to get them, right? Like, again, so you don't want Sundown. I think that's what his name is. The name Mountain Heart actually got changed. It was called Mountain Heart, right? And that might have just been a thrown in there so they could figure out who's leaking stuff. Sundown. He looks awesome. But if you don't want him and you're like, hey, you know what? I saw people when they talk about certain characters and they're like, yeah, he looks awesome, but I have no connection to him. Yeah, you don't, because he wasn't fucking created back in the 80s. They just made him. So that's why you have no connection to him. I mean, it's actually an easy concept of why you have no connection to him, because he didn't exist. But, they're sitting here and they're creating new characters. They're giving us, new iterations. But they're also going back and making sure that we have the figures from 82. And I'm kind of at the point that I think they're going to finish up every character from 82 to 94, which would be crazy. But look at the 60s and the 70s. Don't be surprised if we start to see stuff, considering you're looking at these legacy. It's called legacy for a reason. You know, now I am not up here to tell you, hey, everything that they do is amazing. I really do like, you know, the special forces figure. Do they have the proper weapons? I mean, I'm not special force, I'm not military, but I can tell you, no, that's something, and they have stuff in the line they could clearly use, right? And the price point is wrong. Like, they jump from 35 to 43 really quickly. And it sucks. And I think what sucks most, and I've said it before, they're not going to go down. They're never going down in price. That's a whole nother argument. Snow Wolf says the Energon characters look like they're awesome. Haven't read it, but want to. Definitely would love new characters. That's just it right there, right? New characters, but they're made so they can fit in with all the other ones. So yeah, like they can fit in with these other characters, and I want them to put new characters in. I want them to create new characters. And if someone doesn't want them, then you just move on. And maybe the next iteration. Oh, the one that someone said, oh, I think this figure looks awesome, but I have no connection to it, was the Quick Kick, the Night Force Quick Kick. And I went, yeah, because he wasn't created. But why wouldn't you? Like, he looks awesome. Why wouldn't you want him? The Lame 10 from 1982. Okay. Again, you have that nostalgia, and I have no problem with it, right? Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying that only Snake Eyes, Scarlet, and Cobra Commander were cool. Oh wait, the Cobra Officer was awesome too. Well, actually, the OG-13 was the green shirts, and there's the other three. Anyway, no, it's definitely, again, it's one of those things where they're giving us figures. They're giving us new characters. They're giving us characters completing. And I forget who said it. You're right. Raptor's amazing. If you would have told me Raptor would have been one of my favorite characters that they made in the Classify line, I would have been like, you're so full of shit, because he was stupid. And I still stand by the fact that Raptor was stupid and a real American hero. Because he was. Dominic says there was years when there was zero G.I. Joe figures out there. You have a team that actually loves the product, and it shows. Yes. And I've talked to Lenny. I wouldn't say we're friends. I would say, we're acquaintances. I don't think we don't talk on the phone. If I ask him a question, he'll respond. He's always been very nice to me, and I think because I've been very respectful of him, I'll ask stuff. I know there's certain things he can't comment on, but I will try and clarify certain things. Like, hey, I'm looking at this here, and people are asking, can you clarify what it is? So he's been very responsive. And even when I would ask about things like Hooded Cobra Commander, he's like, I cannot speak on that. That's all changed, right? Because Hooded Cobra Commander is coming. I don't think that's not a secret anymore. It's called King Cobra Commander. That is why everyone has thought that's the crown. It looks like a king's crown, right? And again, this has already come out. So that's the only reason why I'm speaking on it, right? It's supposed to be King Cobra Commander, where he will have a hood. Now, how that's going to work, I don't fully know, right? I don't fully know how that's going to work, but that's what the rumor is out on the streets there. I just threw that on there because it sounded really stupid. But yeah, so how many Cobra Commanders do we need when you think about it, right? They've given us everything but the hooded one that people really, really want. But if they're going to give us something different, you're going to give us behind a podium or that's sitting, you know, in a throne. That's actually pretty cool. You know, I did watch the latest leaks, or I'm sorry, well, the latest leaks that Destro is my spirit animal. I can tell you that there's only on those leaks two that I can say that I have heard from other sources. One being Fatal Fluffies. That one is like well known. That's the only reason why I'm going to say it. But in those leaks, to the sources that I've talked to, I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying that they're not real. I'm just saying that there was only one thing on that I was told that is coming. Fatal Fluffy is one that supposedly it is on the shores, or it is supposed to be on the shores really soon. I kind of threw up an O-ring picture of it, the Super 7 one, right? So, you know, they're giving us multiple figures. You know, they're giving us multiple figures, but no matter what, people are going to whine that they're not getting what they want. The amount of entitled little bitches in this community blows my fucking mind. And I mean, that's truly what it becomes. I want this. I deserve this. And again, I know it's not just the G.I. Joe community. This is the G.I. Joe community. You know, that's the hobby that I'm in. And yes, I'm in other communities, but G.I. Joe is mostly what it is. So, and I don't have a problem with people speaking their mind and having legit things to say. Like many of you have already said, hey, you know what? I'm not interested in those characters, but I'm glad that other people are getting them. Right? Stanley Eberhardt says river otter pets with muskrat or cutter. Yeah, I haven't heard. I know. I'm not sure if you're saying you want that, but muskrat is not one that I have heard, and I know that was one that was said by Destro. That is not one that I have. And again, I think it's safe to say he'll come. He's a cool looking figure. He's a cool looking character. He really fits the scheme and the aesthetic of G.I. Joe very well. So again, I could sit there and I could pull out one of the G.I. Joe books, the 82 through 94, and I could start. And I've said I should do this. I should sit down, record a video, and read every single name. And said, I heard this one's coming. Read every single name. And then I can be like those other douchebag fucking YouTube channels that want to pat themselves on the back every time they get something right and go, I told you this was coming 3 years ago. You fucking threw a name out there of a popular character and you're like, oh, well, fuck. Look, I told you that was coming. Yeah, no shit, asshole. I can go through most of the popular characters and be like, hey, guess what? I told you that was going to come. Yeah, shocker. Wow, how would I ever realize that they would eventually have made a cutter, right? I just threw cutter out there because I think of it, right? You know, anyone that threw out, you know, I said Dr. Mindbender was coming. No shit, dude. Like, do we think he wasn't going to come? Cooking with Eric says, I only want skid marks. But yeah, it's one of those things where, again, like, as long as they're creating new characters, and we are going to get the other characters that they want. But I want to see new characters created. I want to see new color schemes. You know what I really want to see? Because I'm never going to do this. I've talked to Tony about this. I'm like, I would love to customize these, but I just don't have the time or the want to actually do it. Is I want the original OG-13 all in tan. You know we're going to get a tan grunt. You know we're going to get a tan clutch when we get the Vamp Mark II. I want the whole team. We already have Snake Eyes. You don't need to worry about him. And Scarlet, I don't really care. She's already kind of in a tan outfit. And the other ones, all you need is tan. I would love to have an O-ring tan team from the first ones. I think it would look awesome and it'd be fun. Beast Battleground says, I only want Spy Troops and Valor vs. Venom. All the other Joes are trash. As he orders a new figure from eBay that none of us have. Actually, I don't know where Bobby gets his stuff from. And I don't care. I don't care if someone gets stuff earlier than me. Why do people give a shit where people spend their fucking money? That's another gripe of mine. And I know what many of you are saying. 68 or 78 people watching right now. Really, dude? You just fucking went off about people bitching while bitching about people. Yes, we call that irony. We call that irony. And Tony's Fig says, oh, I want Resolute as well. And Tony's a perfect example, right? Like, there's a lot of figures he doesn't want, so he doesn't buy them. But he doesn't lose his fucking mind when they show him off. Because he's like, hey, you know what? Punk's gonna like that. These other guys I see in this group, they like this stuff. Right? They're excited for it. So awesome, right? Like, let them get what they want because they're giving me stuff. We got guys that are losing their mind because they have to wait to get a fucking figure. Like, first off, you don't even do reviews. So why are you spending an extra $50 on a figure so you can have it early? And once again, your money, you do whatever the fuck you want with it. But why are you losing your fucking mind because, your target hasn't gotten the Royal Guard yet? You're reaching out to people overseas so you can get, Zartan, Ninja Force Zartan, even though you know what the street date is. But you don't do reviews. So why do you have to have it in your hand that quickly? And then these same people are going to turn around and bitch when they give you a repaint of something and go, there are no new people coming in. Well, that's bullshit. Because I can tell you, I recently really started going down the Marvel Legends line, right? So I'm buying up fucking Marvel Legends. I don't want to pay aftermarket prices for some of them, but hey, I see it. I'll be happy to get a Beast. Should people be like, fuck, they should have bought Beast when it came out. Now that it's worth $150, well, that's on them. That's one of those things. Chattanooga Egg says, I hope they make another Serpentor someday. They will. I wasn't collecting at the time they released it, and I can't afford to spend $250. And they're going to, right? I've always said it. Like, Serpentor will get remade. He'll be a little bit different, as he should be, right? There should be some incentive that you bought it when it came out. That you bought these, I think it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. You got that one, right? There should be some incentive, right? Those numbers are that incentive for one thing, right? If people are collectors, people are completists, right? So there you are, and it's like, hey, let's give people another Serpentor. It can be very similar. You make sure it's different. Wild Bill is a perfect example. Black Boy Toy Joy. The creative team has the right to add to the mythos instead of only giving us modern versions. Give us new characters. Well, you know what? We got to first go right here and do this.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You got to understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Now, Matthew may say, hey, he's been here before. I don't remember seeing you. And I do apologize if you have been. You are absolutely right. They have every right to add to the fucking lore. Every fucking group that's ever worked on G.I. Joe should have a right to, and not only a right, but they have a duty to add on to the G.I. Joe lore. Just like Hama has done, and Ron Rudat, and all these other designers and creators going all the way back to the 60s. They should be doing it, and they shouldn't get grief from it, and that's all, that's what it is. And if people truly don't want it, and Stanley pretty much says here, like, I just vote with my wallet, and that's just it. if they find out that people don't want a Sundown, that they really hate Don Moreno and new characters, then you don't buy them. And as much as it would suck for someone like me, because I like seeing these new characters, if the majority of the people don't want them and they're not going to buy them, then Hasbro and the G.I. Joe team have every right to change, to change course and say, you know what, let's not do this. That's kind of what I feel they did when it came to that Operation Blackout game. Like, those figures were supposed to be designed after that. People didn't like it. It didn't do well. So we never got that sci-fi. We never got that Storm Shadow. I think we'll still get that Storm Shadow one day. Lenny designed that. I think we'll eventually get that Storm Shadow. And then quickly, we have this coming.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Ronnie Trick Shot with the $2 super chat saying, "Meh, the line is dead. Sell your stuff." That's just because you want to buy it up on eBay for cheap prices. And Allison says, Neon Glow Serpentor with Eco Warriors DEA Chariot. Oh, God, please don't. I don't want Eco Warriors. But what I can tell you is that what I have seen from this team, if they make Eco Warriors, they're probably going to be pretty fucking cool. Cooking with Eric member for 24 months. That's 2 fucking years, if you can believe that shit.
Fucking Phil Collins.
This is my 4th season. I call them seasons that I've been doing this live stream, which blows my mind. Unlike Mindbender, I felt there wasn't enough different. This is where you run into this is where they run into a problem when they put out an exclusive that is so akin to looking like the original figure. How do you put out a retro card, another version that is different enough, but close enough to being what people want? And again, they didn't know where the line was going to go. But I think in the end, we're going to be looking at that SDC Serpentor, kind of like we look at Dr. Mindbender, where that should have been the upgraded scale. Like that Serpentor, that should be the one that comes in, standard release. Where the one that we got with SDCC, like that's the one that should be updated, a modern uniform, something that doesn't harken back to what collectors want. Dr. Mindbender's the same way. And Dr. Mindbender, they looked at it and said, hey, you're not going to get all these little things that come with it. But at the same time, you're like, all right, so you gave me a cape that rubs off and leaves this weird look. And I don't know. It's just one of those things where I don't know what some of these people want. But it also goes back to what I've said for years now, is that I'd say 50% of the G.I. Joe collectors are just that. G.I. Joe collectors. They're not toy collectors. And it's looking more and more like some of these guys are O-ring collectors or O-ring fans. Now, once again, if you want the O-ring, just go buy the fucking O-ring. People are really mad about the despoiler and the price point. That, hey, the despoiler was not a mid-sized vehicle. You're right. The Real American Hero despoiler was not a mid-sized vehicle. The classified one, well, that one is. And $100 was the main price point of the Vamp. Now it's $110. And I think people's feelings on the despoiler are going to change when they start getting it in hand and people start seeing it compared to how big it is to the Stinger and the Vamp. And I wouldn't want a little vehicle. The Destro's taller than the wings in the back. If you're going to do something, you want to make it seem like it can actually fly. And that original despoiler probably doesn't make too much sense. But it's, again, I just see this every time there's a new G.I. Joe release. And it's always the same fucking people on Facebook. Honest to God, it is always the same fucking people. on on Facebook. They lose their fucking minds. They post in 5 different groups, and this 5 groups I'm in, right? How many other groups are they in? These are people that they need to be seen. They need to be. Now again, people could easily be saying like, dude, you do a fucking YouTube channel. You have over 80 people watching, every single Monday. You're one to talk about people that need to be seen. I know I'm kind of a big deal. And I have a giant, huge ego. You guys, I mean, I may joke about it, but my fucking ego is huge. Ask anyone that's met me at Joe Fest, right? Like listen, I can barely fit through the fucking aisle because the ego is so big and I'm so fucking short. Dirty Knives jumping in here saying, I just spent over 800 on a Serpentor, Vamp, Nemesis Immortal, and Chuckles. I don't want to hear anyone complain about prices. And now, see prices. Again, I will reiterate. I think it's a talking point when certain things hit a certain point, right? And you want to discuss why. Now, again, I just bought an Acid Rain buggy for $120. No figure. There's no real property to it. It's Acid Rain. I guess it is a property, but not a big property. That was my choice. It's expensive. So why do you think Hasbro is going to think anything about like $110 price point on a vehicle that they know people are going to want with a character that people are clamoring for? I have no problem with someone saying, hey, you know what? I don't have the money for a $110 vehicle. That's fine. I don't have a problem if someone says, hey, you know what? To me, $30 for an action figure, it's just not worth it. It's not in my budget. And I don't think the worth for it is there. That is perfectly fine. That is your opinion of what is worth it for you and what your financial status is or what your financial status you're willing to pay. And I get that. I have no problem with that. I don't like hearing, oh, the poors. No. Just because someone isn't willing to spend $100 or $325 on a Haslab, just because they're not willing to pay for it doesn't mean they can't. It's just they're looking at going, my hard-earned money isn't worth it. It's when people try and say it shouldn't be that much. In the 80s, I bought the spoiler for $10 with okay, well that's fucking great. This is a bigger fucking figure, and that was fucking 40 years ago. I will reiterate. Walk into fucking the Dodge dealership, the Chrysler dealership. Go to buy I'm sorry, it's just a Ram now. It's no longer a Dodge Ram, but go and buy a Ram. And when they give you the price or you look at that sticker, call them over and go, you know what? Back in the 80s, a truck like this would have cost me $13,000. That's what I'm willing to pay you right now. They won't throw you out. They will laugh your ass out. But we do it with toys. You can't buy a microwave for what you used to in the 80s. And in the 80s, they were much bigger. So, I mean, you get a bigger bang for your buck. You probably get cancer from it too, but it's a whole other story. I have a microwave. I'm not one of those crazy non-microwave guys. But it's just one of those things. It's a gripe that I have because every single time there's a stream, you're going to hear about it. And you'll hear, they're giving me figures I don't even want. Then don't buy it. It's that simple. Right? I never complain that Ford gives us cars that I don't want when I don't buy Fords. I don't care. Ford gave an electric Mustang, which is a fucking hatchback, and I think it's an atrocity. I'm not buying it. I don't care. Mustang should be a gas muscle car. Shouldn't have 4 doors. I don't care. I have to buy it. I mean, I can have criticism of it. And you can have criticism that, hey, you know what? I don't, you can have criticism that, hey, I really wish they weren't doing this, and I wish they'd finish, each wave, but I understand why they don't. You have to have understanding on the reason why they don't do this stuff. That's the biggest thing, right? But to sit there and say, dude, they're giving me stuff that I don't even want. I don't know why they're doing it. Because they look at the analytics, they see what sells, and they go, well, look at this. These characters are selling like crazy. 39 says, I think a lot of it is clickbait punk. They just want the views. Well, no, I'm talking about guys I'm talking about guys in the Facebook groups. You're absolutely correct. When it comes to the toy tubers, honestly, again, I'm not up here to talk to 12 people. I can honestly tell the conversation I had with Matthew many, many years ago. I said, if I'm talking to 12 people in a year, like I just started, is it wrong that I'm going to be disappointed? He said, no, not at all. You should want to expand. I'm talking to 80 people right now. I've had over 100 people watching. Tomorrow, Circle of Jerks will have 130, 150 people watching, right? And I've seen people come and go. And a lot of people go not because they don't no longer want to hear me. They have things going on in their life. A lot of people, and I put two and two together, a lot of people are not watching this show anymore because they're like, hey, I can just hear you tomorrow on Circle of Jerks, and I don't need to hear you, 2 days in a row and kind of, talk about the same thing. I get it. But I'm talking about, so we're all here for views. There are the guys that, yes, they're going to give you that clickbait, right? They love the clickbait. And again, you can do clickbait as long as there's a payoff for what you're putting in that thumbnail and in that title. I've done clickbait before, right? Hooded Cobra Commander. Do you think that I was stupid enough to go, do I call this a Soldiers of Fortune and whatever the name was, or G.I. Joe Hooded Cobra Commander? Now, I didn't think it'd get 10,000 views, but I knew that it would do better than putting in Soldiers of Fortune, name of the figure. The people are going to go, what the fuck is that? No, Hooded Cobra Commander. Boom, thumbnail. Cobra Commander. G.I. Joe across it. Same with what I just put out. I put out Acid Rain Dune Buggy. People are going to go, oh, that's a vehicle. I put out G.I. Joe 788. Whoa, wait, did I miss this? It's not clickbait because that's what I'm using it for. I'm putting 788 team in it. But I tell you what it is. So yes, people do clickbait. I know for a fact some of these people don't believe what they say. But my gripe more has to do with the guys on Facebook who are, the moment there's a live stream or something new comes out, something goes up for pre-order, and they lose their mind. And they have to tell everyone about how stupid the team is, how they're not even giving them what they want. And I will go back to, yeah, you're absolutely right. But once again, people don't want me running G.I. Joe. Because would I have ever done Cobra Law? No, because I don't like Cobra Law. Although I like the Cobra Law figures, I ain't going to lie. That Royal Guard is way better than it should be. But you don't want someone that's not going to think about the masses. And also, how do I extend the brand? Most of these people that bitch and complain that, hey, they're not giving me what I want, they don't care if the brand goes for another 5 or 10 years. Marvel Legends been out for what, 25 years now? Imagine if Classified is here 20 years. What if we get another 15 years out of Classified, right? What if we're sitting back and many of us who were there from day one are sitting there watching the live stream, and who's ever in charge, whether it be Lenny or someone else, and they're like, man, this is our 20th year doing Classified. And many of us are going back like, I was there from day one. And it's great to see that there's more and more people that have showed up, which means that there have to be younger people popping in, which means that brand is continuing on. John Battle says, this is the same conversation we have about Marvel Legends never finishing a team and always giving us fillers of characters we don't need, but it's based on who is more popular to make. And that is very, very true. And the teams thing is the Marvel Legends team, like the teams thing is a little different. And this is what I mean by that. People just want the OG 13 because they just want to complete, they say they just want to complete that. That's all they want. There's very few people that are like, hey, I only want the, you know, astonishing X-Men, and that's all I'm going to collect. Now, Marvel 9, like X-Men 97, that might be one of them. Like, hey, I just want to like the cartoon. I just want all the Marvel, the 97 characters that obviously go back to the original X-Men film or X-Men cartoon and shit. That I can actually see in a way, right? But they're always going to give you more because obviously if you're doing X-Men 97, there's so many characters that they can pull from. But I don't think there's any teams that once you're done with the team, you're out of it. People I could see being done like, hey, I just want that 82 line. But the reason why you do that is you keep them because, you know, your idea is, hey, we're going to keep these people around and maybe they're going to see the sundown character and they're going to be like, yeah, I don't want that, but he looks pretty cool. And then you see him at the store and you're like, huh. And then you get that itch. And then you got to get that Dawn Moreno. And then next thing you know, you're looking for, you know, Ninja Force Zartan. I think you got it right that time. Anyway, that was my gripe. And I will reiterate, when you do close to 48 of these a year, 47 live streams Mondays alone, it's easy to have it's better to have a topic because you can talk to the people. So you got to come up with things. And this is a gripe that I keep having. I keep seeing, and if you knew how often I had to tell the guys in the Circle of Jerks, hey, we're trying to grow a fucking brand. We can't attack everyone that says something stupid because it's all we'll do is attack people that are stupid. Tony's the only one that really seems to grasp it because he's not, believe it or not, he's the nicest person. If I told you, hey, I'm on a show with 5 people and I'm the second nicest, people would be like, that's crack of shit. But it's true. You know, sometimes I feel like we have to pull Spec off from, you know, pummeling people. Sometimes I feel like I have to tell Baldy, like, hey, you can't always be trolling. Can't always be trolling, right? It sends a bad message because we are growing a brand. You know, that show is killing it. And believe me, I wish that I could say everything that I fucking think. You know, I wish that I could just kind of put my thoughts out there every single time. And there are times that I want to say something, and instead I answer the person's dumb question. And on more than one occasion, I get oh, hey, Punk, I love your videos. Well, if I would have answered it the way that I wanted to, then it's like, wow, dude, I really liked watching your shit. I didn't realize you were such an asshole. I was just asking a fucking question. And so you have to refrain. I don't say I always do it, but I try. Quickly, I'm about to call it a night. Devil Dog saying my 7-year-old niece loves the Dreadnoks and my 5-year-old loves the Vipers. It was awesome to see them start playing with Classified. And no matter what people say, there are people buying Classified and Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series for their kids. I know the majority of it is for adult collectors, but I have been at Surgeon Reds when I've watched a kid walk in and say, where's your G.I. Joe stuff? I'm talking like a 10-year-old kid. Now, does it happen as much as you would like it to? No. You know, it sucks that you're not bumping into kids at aisles, right? I'll take it back. It sucks that you don't see kids bumping into each other at aisles going, oh my God, yeah, I have that G.I. Joe figure. Or I have that Marvel figure. Adults don't bump into kids and talk to them. That's fucking creepy. And that's how you get your ass knocked out because you shouldn't be talking to kids. Anyway, that's it. I'm calling in tonight. It's been over 3 hours. I did give you the 3 hours. It's 12:19 a.m. right now. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Please, if you haven't yet, go check out Circle of Jerks tomorrow at 6:30-ish is when we do it. So it really depends on when Baldy decides to start the show. After that, my moderator, Matthew Matson, he will, him and Pop Blender, they do their own show, The Evening Blend. It is not a toy show. It is a pop culture show, but check it out. You should have a lot of fun over there. And this Thursday with a friend, I will be having Mark from Mark II Designs, Mark II Toys, a lot of 3D printed stuff, a lot of real world weapons. He also designs weapons for some other people. I will have him on it. I've met him a few times at some of the conventions, and honestly, a wonderful, nice guy, and does some amazing 3D prints. But I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys all tomorrow over at Baldy Locks Reviews for the Circle of Jerks. And if you haven't checked out Circle of Jerks yet, you need to, because you will have a fucking blast. If you like seeing 4 to 5 people just fucking go at it with each other and rip on each other. Take care.
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.